What's up tonight? It's Out of Nowhere, episode 120. I got a bunch of shit to say. There's a lot of shit to talk about today. Shit's going fucking off the rails tonight. We got Raw reviews, we got Raw ratings, we got Smackdown ratings. We got a bunch of shit. We got Jake DeMarco, Connor from OK Fabe, and all you guys, plus a bunch of other shit. And it's Out of Nowhere, episode 120. We're going to take your calls in a few minutes. What's up, everybody? That was weird. There was like some kind of fucking like grinding track playing over that track. I don't know what the fuck was up with that, but I don't know if you could hear that. It was really weird.
It's got a bit of an echo.
Did the track play?
Yeah, we heard it, but
oh, sick. Okay, cool.
There's like a slight echo.
I don't know.
I think it's faded now.
I don't know why that was happening, but yeah. So this Out of Nowhere song sounded a little fucking weird tonight. So sorry about that.
I think that's why. I think because of the echo. So it was like slightly picking itself up. It was too badass to contain itself.
I don't know. Yeah, it's so fucking crazy that it lost its mind, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's
that's
really weird.
Exactly what it was, baby. What's going on?
Fucking weird, man.
Episode 120. We're here. We're live.
Jesus. I'm out of breath because I had to yell at fucking some cocksucker on somewhere else, and he was a dickhead. And we figured it out.
That's what you get for spreading false lies and accusations.
I don't know, man. I don't understand it. Like I don't get it. Why do people got to do it? Don't bring me your shit. Don't come to me. Like, how fucked up is it that I get in trouble every time, no matter what? Somehow, no matter what, every time I get in trouble. I've said it. Ken said it. You always do get a ton of shit. It is funny when you look back at it. It's funny to us, not to you, but you know, you think about it, how much shit you get brought. I don't get it, man. Like, I didn't fucking ask for shit. I didn't want to know about it. Everyone in the community is talking about it, and I didn't want to know about it. Didn't want to talk about it. Then I had to talk about it. It's like unfucking believable, and it comes back to me somehow. Ugh,
yeah, you saved the dying dog, and then people yell at you for hurting the dog in the first place. You're like, yeah, I didn't. I saved him. Yeah. But the dog was injured. You know, you can't win.
What about a year ago when the dog caught the ball? That has nothing to do with the fucking point.
Oh God.
What a week. I'm glad everybody's here though, tuning in.
Anyone get a light?
2 minute earlier start time. No, Connor.
Yeah, we were 2 minutes early.
Dealing with so much bullshit. It seems like everybody's just, you know, when it rains, it pours, literally. Yeah, you were pretty close to being blown up over there.
There was literally a street within walking distance where a place apparently exploded.
Oh my God.
That's so fucked up, man.
And my mom, who lives down like a mile and a half away, within walking distance. You could literally step outside and just see smokestack.
Dude, that is so weird. That is so weird.
See, when Joe said he was okay, he wasn't that close, I was like, oh, good. Connor's good then. Like, I always associate you two being like in close proximity, so.
I mean, we are that close, but
we are pretty close. But he's like on the other side of Boston, and then down a ways, and I'm on the other side of Boston, down a ways. So we're like opposites in a way, 40-minute away opposites, with in the middle with Boston in the middle of us, basically.
Yeah, just your
pretty
tips
much.
touch, but your taints are facing opposite directions.
We're docking.
Exactly.
You're just docking. Yeah.
Yeah, we do all kinds of weird stuff. It's weird. We'll visit each other and go into each other's houses and stuff.
And other things.
You share wives, but not fridge food. I got you,
dude. Like, how interesting is it that the Raw ratings? Because everyone always plays these different games with the Raw ratings. But how interesting is it that they went so far down to 2.6, and people are like, oh, you know, football and all these other things.
They're like, that's not that bad. It's not that bad, right?
But there's always an excuse. It's always like this show was on, that show was on. But they did it 2.6, and here's the thing about the 2.6. You know, it was the night after a pay-per-view, too, so it was like, you would think that usually interest jumps higher just because it's the night after a pay-per-view, and it did not do that.
No, people just didn't seem to give a fuck. Can we blame them? No. But that's the thing with the pay-per-view on the Raw side. There was nothing really to see that was left to be, like, in the sense of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
As we're SmackDown, you still had some questions in a sense, or some things that you wanted to see play out. What was there to Raw that you needed to see?
Always on point. Thanks for subbing to the channel. What's up?
I mean, we knew Brock Lesnar wasn't going to be back again for a while, so maybe Paul Heyman would come out and say something, but he wasn't going to be at Raw. The only thing you knew that for sure to see was The Undertaker, and everybody knew that he pretty much already said all he had to say. So,
right.
I think they were trying to bank on the fact that, oh, Lesnar cost a no contest at the Hell in a Cell. No one won. We have to see what's going to happen next. But in actuality, it just pissed everybody off.
Yeah, everybody was just ticked off because Hell in a Cell is supposed to be, you know, a finite ending to a feud. It's not supposed to be this, no winner scenario. So
Pinfall or submission, my ass.
Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. And I went ahead and I said it on the review for Sunday's Hell in a Cell that, we knew the outcome for that show with AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. And then I said that there's two scenarios that are going to happen. Their upcoming feud at Super Showdown is either going to be a last man standing or a no DQ, no countout scenario. And lo and behold, it's a no disqualification, no countout. So you can always bank on, Joe Cronin Show and company to be right. And that kind of leads me into my next point for the Super Showdown. They're really building their out-of-market shows and caring less about their mainstay pay-per-view shows and their U.S. market, it seems, because all of their focus is elsewhere currently, and it shows. Because now they're building so heavily to this Saudi show. I don't have exact proof per se. I know you brought this up at one point in time, Joe, but the only actual bit of evidence I have for this, to actually confound what I'm saying here is this. But as what I've heard tentatively right now, what they're trying to do is have Kane and Undertaker, the Brothers of Destruction, take on the newly reunited D-Generation X, so Shawn Michaels and Triple H, at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, or network special, excuse me. And the reason I'm saying this is because WWE donated money, on top of other evidence, this is one thing that we can prove, to Knox County, Tennessee. They donated $100,000. This is according to WBIR, Knox County News. The $100,000 is in part for appearance for Kane's upcoming appearances, and that's the key word right there, appearances. So we know that he has more than one appearance coming up. They said that they did this in order to thank him for his upcoming appearances. So that's a plural there. So, I mean, the only one we know of at this point in time is the Super Showdown. So lo and behold, that sets up for, the Crown Jewel show. I want to pull up the article here.
Oh, it's puke-inducing.
It is. They said the $100,000 donation Vince McMahon's company made to Knoxville Public Safety Foundation is not a coincidence. Glenn Jacobs said, I am very proud and very humbled. I've been with WWE for a long time. They're a great company. They've always been a supporter of mine. The fact that they would step up and help out our community is wonderful. $100,000 is a significant contribution, especially for the family of a fallen police officer or firefighter, and which is great. It's certainly something that I condone, but they're not doing it just to be helpful. They're doing it because they need to take the mayor away for a certain point of, length and time. In the press release for the contribution, WWE indicates it's in appreciation for making a series of appearances for WWE this fall. See, right there, they said it. That I want to make sure I get that wording in. Series of appearances. So it's not just one. And right now, they only have him slated to be in The Undertaker's corner at Super Showdown. And from what I've heard, they definitely want to have this match happen at Crown Jewel. So how do you guys feel about the possible DX versus Brothers of Destruction match?
I want to know what Kane's out of office email is going to look like.
It sounds like that's a way to get him in the match, in a tag match. He'd agree to that, to get to break himself back in, and then don't you see them really doing Undertaker Shawn maybe at WrestleMania then?
I think this is a good halfway. Yeah, I think this is definitely a halfway point, because I think that it's a safe bet when you're having him come back for not like a singles match. There's not like a whole lot of not a whole lot going on. I think they'll probably base it off of what his limitations are or lack thereof. I doubt there's any, based off of what happens at Super Showdown. I think they're testing the waters, and they're just going to go full throttle at the Saudi Arabia show. So, but yeah, I think they're probably testing the waters, because like you said, it's a great halfway point. They don't have to have Shawn in a singles match. He can win and or lose and still not be involved. So it's kind of protecting him a little bit. So I think it's going to happen, and I think more so now than ever, especially with the way Undertaker and everything has been talking. They're going to do Shawn Michaels Taker, I think, which is still weird to think.
And we had heard at one point in time, and I was kind of upset about it, that if we got Shawn versus Undertaker, it wouldn't be at WrestleMania. And I was really upset about it. I said, this is a Mania-made feud. I don't understand why they would do this, But, this was requested by the Prince himself. So I said, this is kind of a, money talk scenario.
Right.
And I understand that if anybody can, be brought back, this would be why, because he's willing to pay such high dollar amounts. And he's still a proven fan of the Attitude Era-esque. He's still locked into those times. He requested superstars that are no longer in the business or even alive to be brought in for the greatest Royal Rumble. One of which that he wants to see that's very high on his list is none other than Hulk Hogan. And a lot of experts believe that Hulk Hogan might be making a return at Crown Jewel, because the Prince is really putting his foot down and wants to have Hulk return.
Because remember, the Prince thinks Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man would be there too. So who's the only one that's alive from that? It's Hogan.
And he doesn't. I guess what the report had said, the private report that got somewhat leaked that I had heard little snippets of, was that he didn't understand why they had issue with Hulk being in the company. He's basically his attitude was so he said some stuff. It was so. And I would love to hear that whole thing. Be but he said terrible racist things, and the Prince is so? You're talking about a guy that has women executed in the streets, and to him, he said something, it means nothing. So
yeah, he's we only punish the women if they say things here.
Yeah. Somebody said that to me on Twitter the other day, that a female, younger girl had spoken out against the WWE coming to their country and was executed for it. And I had searched for articles and news pieces about it, but I didn't. The only thing I found was a girl was moved to a death sentence for speaking against the country's.
Oh my God!
Against the country and the Prince and his ruling for having sports entertainment and not just wrestling, but things like that come to the country instead of adding to women's rights. He was more focused on spreading entertainment and making things more pop culture-esque.
Yeah,
that was the only article I found. So I don't know if that was what they were talking about, but still, nonetheless, he is executing females left and right.
Let me hit up these donations and see if you guys can hear them. Let me know if you can hear this.
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon.
Nice.
I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon.
Becky finally won. Only good thing from Hell in a Cell. Otherwise, FWWE, I am sick of the bullshit.
Sick of the bullshit. Gooner Chiefs fan 123. Thank you, Gooner. What's up, Gooner? Thanks for the $5. The first one to drop a donation tonight, my friend. You're the big one, Gooner. Give me your Gooner. The name Gooner is just weird. Just blew my head off. You think that's fucking Gooner? You like the name Gooner? I feel like Gooner is like a not good word. Like I feel like that's like something.
I feel like that's the kid with the sinus infection in school.
Come on over here, Gooner. I feel like it's fucked up. Man, Nightbot is on a fucking tear tonight. I'm sorry to anybody in the chat that's getting fucked up by Nightbot. What's up, Nessa? No deaths with the fucking wrench. How's everybody doing? 69. What's up? Take your phone calls. 339-226-6610. Tommy NC on Tosh.0 last night. We're going to talk about it tomorrow night on Thursday Night Throwdown. So more of it on tomorrow night. Pretty good. You guys watch it?
Bringing up his stand-up was gold.
Oh, dude. I'm like, oh my God, don't tell the ketchup packet. I can't believe he told the fucking ketchup packet thing. I was
in the
dude. I gotta be honest. We've been making fun of that for a year now. So to see Tosh be like, "You do stand up now," and then hear him go to do the ketchup packet joke, like that's like a fucking payoff for us. Like nobody else, anybody watching just thinks what an idiot. But like for us, that's like a payoff. Like I started bawling my eyes out, dude. I'm like, dude, we've been making fun of this exact joke for a year or longer. Actually, it's been 3 years. But dude, and then to hear it on here he is on Tosh.0, Tosh again for the second time, and then Tosh asked him, "Oh, now you do stand up, Tommy?" And then Tommy says, "Yeah, what did the ketchup packet?" Like, oh my fucking God, dude, I was crying. I was fucking crying, dude.
The mayonnaise one is even worse.
Because he fucked it up even worse than the ketchup thing. Because he said, what did he say? He said like he mayonnaise. He said it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All of it. And then
Can't wait to see that.
Bitching about Tosh's production, not allowing him to have 2 phones. He's like, well, what do you need 2 phones for? It's just too funny.
What the fuck? Donations are active now, guys. I put them on just now. So if you want to donate, the link is down below in the description box, or Super Chat is working as well. So Super Chat's in the chat with the $sign. Either way you want to do it. All the donation amounts are listed in a list, as you know. Been having a pretty good day today. Jake, if you got more news, go for it, and I will. I got some shit, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've got some news as well, but one of the things that I had been working on yesterday before going to the docks and stuff was... You know, there was, I looked back, I rewatched certain segments of Hell in a Cell, and I just thought about how many people weren't on the show, weren't even talked about or discussed.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was like, oh, well, it's a Raw. I'm like, wait, no, it's not just a Raw show. I mean, it's dual branded when I got later on in the show, because it was just like, I'm like, where's this one? Where's that one? Like, it just didn't occur to me at first. You know, when you do the review, you kind of get sucked into everything. So when you go back to reanalyze it all, I was just kind of blown away with how many names we didn't see on the show. And my friend Patrick helped me out. We were going back and looking up dates of, you know, facts of when people last had matches, singles matches, pay-per-views, all this stuff. And of course, later on today, What Culture basically released the same video I was going for. So kudos to those assholes. But just a few names of note was like Finn Balor. You know, he was screwed out of the Universal title rematch, 2 or 3 weeks ago when the Shield reunited?
Right. Oh, my bad. I didn't know they were on.
No, you're good.
What's up?
Why is WWE having 5 PPV if they can't focus on building interest for 1 plus what is the point of this rumored crown jewel tournament?
Christian Rodriguez. I mean, Christian, it's basically just to make money. Put on a special event, get the biggest names, and make a bunch of money. That's why they're doing it. Crown Jewel is going to be in Saudi Arabia. It's the second Saudi Arabia show. We already knew they were doing. Didn't they sign for more than 2?
Well, they have a 10-year deal. I knew that, but I didn't know they were doing another network special.
There you go, a 10-year deal.
I thought it was, you know, 1 a year myself.
That's what I thought. But
and the thing is, too, I guess the Prince is very fond, him and his, you know, cabinet, I don't know what to call it over there, but his constituents, his people, they're very fond of championships and tournaments and things of that nature. So they like to have more titles. That's why you saw basically every belt defended last time. That's why they really want Brock Lesnar back. You know, they view him as a champion. That's why they were really happy about the Greatest Royal Rumble having a belt. That's why there had to be a belt for the Greatest Royal Rumble.
We haven't seen since.
Oh my God, dude, that's hilarious, man. You've been doing your research. That's
so, you know,
funny.
So it because we were all just kind of overlooked it. We're like, it was like a silly prize, but to them, it's a very big deal. And eventually, that belt will be defended by Braun at the next Greatest Royal Rumble.
Sakes.
That belt is held of high prestige over there. He has to show up with that belt because they brought it up the other day on Hell in a Cell, saying that, you know, he still has that belt. I didn't catch it then.
TV.
I didn't catch it then, but when I rewatched it on Tuesday, yesterday, I was like, oh my God, they did mention it. So lo and behold, he will defend that belt at some point. Yeah. So they really like tournaments and championships and prizes. So they're having this best of the best tournament, and it's so silly to us, but to them it's a big deal. So they're basically just throwing things left and right out of their ass to make up, random King of the Ring style tournaments. This one that's coming up, I forgot the name of it now that we had said, but it's basically they said they're going to determine the best of the best. We don't know if it's going to be bracket style, if it's going to be over the top battle royal or what, but it's going to determine the best wrestler. Don't know how it's going to be done, but again, it's going to be for another trophy and or belt. But it's going to be the crown jewel, for just that night. So it should be interesting. Back to Finn, though, I was saying, the Shield reunited that night, so Dolph and Drew ruined his chance at the Universal Championship because he kind of had the upper hand at that moment in the match. Besides that, he's gone from failed feud to loss to failed feud. I mean, you figure he had bad matches with Bray Wyatt. With Kane, he lost multiple times. He had terrible matches with, Baron Corbin and everything that's happened since. So since he's recovered from injury, he's had, multiple losses and bad feuds. You look at Bayley. When was the last time Bayley had a pay-per-view match? Do either of you know?
I don't even remember.
Bayley had a pay-per-view match?
Yeah, the last time she had a match on pay-per-view.
Jesus, I have no idea. WrestleMania, I'm guessing?
June of 2017.
Oh my God!
Against Alexa Bliss.
Well, I mean, yeah.
No,
you're right.
That kendo stick on a pole match was the last time Bayley had a match on pay-per-view, and not just a singles match, any match on pay-per-view. So they ruined her feud with Sasha for no reason. She hasn't had a match on pay-per-view since June of last year. Asuka was the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. She had a 500-plus day undefeated streak, and then all of a sudden she loses to, Charlotte and Carmella a couple of times, and she's not even on the pay-per-view. Nakamura is the Royal Rumble winner as well. He went from the number one contender all the way to the U.S. champion, and now we don't even see him at Hell in a Cell. Ember Moon, she's a great up-and-coming talent, not used. Naomi, Carmella, both former women's champions. Sasha, her last singles match on pay-per-view was SummerSlam last year, not this year. Over a year ago. Elias, he's had 2 matches on pay-per-view this entire year, one of which was amazing against Seth Rollins, and the other one was the Royal Rumble. So, Almas, he's had great matches against Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles on SmackDown. And he's one of only a few people in the company to have a 5-star match rating from when he was back in SmackDown, or NXT, I'm going to say. And he's not on the pay-per-view. Bobby Lashley, oddly enough, he's facing Kevin Owens, who has his own gigantic problems. Like, can't even, we've gone there and beat that dead horse. But with Leo Rush in his corner, it's a good thing, and I think it'll go to good places. But right now, he's pigeonholed into being a face, because he's forced to team with John Cena at the Super Showdown show, and his character, or lack thereof at this point, can't naturally develop whatsoever because he has to continue to be this happy-go-lucky babyface until after he's done teaming with Cena against the dastardly evil heels. You look at the Bar, they've had no pay-per-view match since the Greatest Royal Rumble, no matches of note since being tag champs nearly a year before that. The list goes on. They have so much talent, and no one's being used. I can't break down and fathom.
They want to lock people in.
Exactly, but I mean, it's okay to have people consistently lose. It's okay to have people consistently win. No one's memorable. There's no storylines. And I know we say this consistently and constantly, but the Attitude Era, at least the highlight was that every single person at least had a story, had something going on, had something memorable happening to them, with them, and for them. We don't get that now.
No, God, no.
And it's not hard to do.
I'll be right back.
Apparently
I gotta
it
fix something. I'm just fixing my mic. Hold on one second. I'm here. I'm listening to you though. I'm just fixing my mic.
Yeah, you know, and apparently
That's
now,
why I'm glad there was no call-ups this after SummerSlam from NXT.
I was as well. Originally I was like, well, maybe it's not going to help anything. You know, Bobby Lashley has given out interviews saying that he's still holding out for his WWE dream matches, and he said, I wasn't so much bummed. I was more pissed off. Ever since I came into WWE, there's always been, you know, that comparison. Our paths have never crossed, talking about Brock Lesnar.
I think that'd be a great money match.
I think so, too. And that would have had a huge buy rate for Yeah, that would have had a huge buy rate for WrestleMania, or excuse me, SummerSlam, because people haven't seen it before.
Oh, and
no one wanted to see it with Roman.
Not to mention the fact that Lashley, who went to beat Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules, didn't have a match at SummerSlam, didn't have a match at Hell in a Cell. But God damn it, if Leah Rush doesn't save him, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
Yeah, and Leah Rush on Raw was one of the highlights for me, one of the only highlights. Yep. I really enjoyed that segment. I thought his interaction with Elias was funny. His retort back and forth.
My man.
Exactly. His catchphrases are going to be annoying, but they'll stick. I think that he'll be able to carry Bobby to a new level because he's going to be able to speak enough for him, but also back up what he says. And it's perfect. Now if Bobby smiles, he's being that narcissistic asshole, not this compensating clusterfuck of a you know, moron.
I mean he's another example where we're you know kind of beating a dead horse in some respects, but that's pretty much what it is. WWE wants to lock, at least from what I'm seeing and witnessing. WWE has so much effing talent now. You take a look at the rosters they have, right? You have Raw, you have SmackDown, you have NXT, you have 205 Live, you have presumably, maybe I'm just assuming here, at least half of the Mae Young Classic participants, I'm assuming, are probably under some sort of contract in some way, shape, or form. They have a plethora of freaking talent, and they're not utilizing them properly. And you go like, what the hell is the problem? It's because they want to just simply try to lock people in. Look how many like independent guys they've signed in the last, you look at every takeover, there's someone in the crowd, there's someone in the audience. Keith Lee was signed. You had, Matt Riddle was just recently signed. Pentagon's being rumored, which I hope to God is not the truth.
I've heard that heavily.
I hope to God he does not go to WWE, not because I don't think he's talented or successful, that he wouldn't have amazing shit going on in NXT, but number one, neither of them need each other right now, and two, it's rinse, lather, repeat. We're going to see the same exact thing happen. He's going to blow up huge in NXT and then go over to Raw or SmackDown and just dribble down. Yeah, it's going to happen.
They bring him forth, and that's been the hugest problem, one of the main problems with the people from NXT. They don't transition over well, and they could. They really could. It's not a hard thing to transition with most times. They're ready-made. People were so into Nakamura. He was, mysterious in the sense that there was this random allure to him that people didn't know quite really what to make of him. His theme song was catchy. People wanted to like him just because they were singing along to the theme song. His mannerisms were very charismatic. You just liked him. There wasn't really any specific reason. He wasn't, a catchphrase machine that you were just barking at with. He just, his moveset was awe-inspiring at times. His matches weren't really hitting that level yet, but you had heard what he could accomplish, so you were excited to see what he could do. And he wasn't boring in the ring by any means. I mean, he wasn't hitting a 5-star match that he's capable of, but it certainly wasn't a 1 or 2-star either.
No, I think.
And then they did nothing with him for the longest time. Then they let him win the Rumble, and then they just killed his momentum.
I think and I could be wrong. I don't know what the hell goes on the border. I don't know what goes on creative, and part of me doesn't want to know what happens in creative. But I genuinely think what happens is WWE looks for a quick fix. And what they do is they'll bring up guys from NXT because Vince is the one that ultimately makes the call according to Triple H. It's not Triple H. It's Vince calls them up from NXT. So what I think they're doing is they're looking for a quick fix, and they have no long-term plan. You could easily say that a lot of these gimmicks were great in NXT and absolutely true, but they are ways to transition them into the main roster if they just sat down and thought about it for a little bit. If Vince is like, oh, I want to call up this guy. Well, why don't you take the time to actually sit down and maybe have at least a 6-month plan in store for the person rather than just throwing them to the wolves.
Yeah,
that's
which
how
is
it feels.
what they've been trying to do in NXT. They try and have things set ahead of time.
I mean, I'm not talking like every minute detail. You do, loose leaf booking and just kind of let things ebb and flow. If someone gets injured, if something happens, like I love the fact that Aleister Black's injured and they've turned into an entire angle where they're trying to figure out who did it. And that's huge. I think that's genius. And it's so freaking easy. It's not that complex. And the part that just blows my mind is the exact same thing of you see the same wrestlers. Very little has changed from when they go from NXT to WWE. It's supposedly the same thing, just on a bigger scale, and it's just mind-boggling. It's like, well, if you're appealing to a broader audience, what you're doing shouldn't really change that drastically. Does it really have to change that drastically in order to appeal to a mainstream freaking audience? I don't understand that. And I just don't think they don't thinking things through and like, oh, wait, well, maybe this might not work on this way. Well, let's try and do this. I think they just look for a quick fix, a cheap pop, a cheap plug, something to boost either ratings or like interest in the product of, oh, so-and-so is called up. Now we're going to get all these cool matches, but they don't really like have any sort of long-term plan. Hell, the talents even said that in interviews before where it's like, oh, hey, I'd really like to know what I'm doing. And they don't know until they like get there the day of.
Yeah, I mean, Sasha was the one that said that most recently, or at least that she's one of the ones that comes to mind most recently, where she's like, I get to Raw thinking that I have this storyline that's going to play out, and I have no idea what I'm doing until, minutes before we go live, and then I'm told, oh, pack up your stuff, you're not going on tonight.
Yeah.
And how, infuriating
how do you do that? I just don't understand that, that's all.
And then we see the scripts leak out time and time again. And, at least the highlights of them, and it's the same thing week in and week out. And you wonder why, because they're so rushed to get these things out. They're like, well, what did we do last week? And that's also a huge problem, too, is that they don't have any consistency. They need someone there specifically hired for the job to say, well, we already did this match. Well, we already, they need, a continuity editor to be there at all times. No, that happened 6 months ago when so-and-so faced this person, they lost. So now they need the rematch, or no, they things like that. It needs to happen. Same way they do it for the Marvel movies, where they need to go ahead and fix things so you don't have to retcon everything.
Well, that's been said numerous times where like they've said like Vince doesn't have any, like Vince's short-term memory is fucking horrible.
Yes.
Like I've heard people say like Vince like has to be reminded because he's so like forward thinking and there's so many different things he's doing and he's so forward thinking in terms of like what to do next and what's next and what's next and what's next that he doesn't really like either live in the moment or really like think things through as far as what's going on currently. So there's no way. I mean,
that's hilarious, by the way.
I mean, it is, right? Like,
Vince, don't you remember Seth is the champion? Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Wait, he's the Intercontinental Champion?
They just re-signed Rey Mysterio, apparently, with a 2-year deal. And it's like, but why? Is he still that much of a draw? I mean, I liked Rey, but is he needed? Is he really worth the money that they're paying him?
Well, they can just toss some money around now because now they got like, just like $100 million extra laying around.
I mean, they paid him so much money. Yeah, they paid him so much for so long without using him. I mean, they held on to him for what, like 2 years, and he wasn't even able to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And now, go ahead, Connor.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, between Saudi Arabia and Fox, they can just throw money at anything right now.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's I think the problem is that they're going to try on one hand it's smart because they're going to try and do different things to appeal for a business and they can take greater risks and say, let's try this out and see what happens. They throw some money at it and see if it works. And from a business perspective, that can work in some aspects and it gives them some, freedom in some ways. But from a creative standpoint, they're going to get really complacent. If you thought they were complacent before, folks, now it's going to get even worse because what incentive do they have? They just made $1 billion off of Fox and God knows how much money off of the Saudi Arabia deal.
And Triple H had posted that picture with, I forget the name of the robot there for Fox. And there's a countdown timer on there saying how many days until SmackDown goes live. And obviously somebody did the math and it does show that SmackDown definitely will be on Fridays. So it's going to be live, but it's going to be on Fridays. And I don't know if they had released that definitely anywhere else saying that it was going to be on Fridays, but
I think they did before because they released the initial date.
Yeah, and then but there was also like misleading information after that. Remember, we went back and forth unsure. Well, now it seems like all signs point to yes. So, but that's going to be difficult for them travel wise, no? Because usually they're set up in one place and they just literally go the next night and set up. Now, if they have house shows on the weekend, these poor wrestlers are going to have to be all over the place week long. Like usually, they have the weekends to themselves sometimes, or like at least from Wednesday to Friday or Saturday they have to themselves. It's just a lot of travel, even more now. And PW Insider said here that Rey Mysterio, his contract, he was fighting for an 18-month deal.
Right.
WWE was adamant that the only way they'd sign him was for a 2-year contract. This way they can grasp their hold onto the legendary luchador for 2 years. They got what they wanted. Mysterio does have a clause that would allow him to give his notice at 18 months, but there's specifics with that are barred from being accessed at this point. And they note here that, he's put on dream matches with like Will Ospreay, AJ Styles, Lucha Underground stars, Pentagon Jr., Ricochet, Phoenix, and some of these people now are in WWE. So that's their hopes of recreating some of these dream matches that he's already put on. Granted, Ricochet's in NXT. That's one of the ones they want to see him work with. Same thing with AJ Styles, But it's not that I don't like him. It's just, now we're bringing back more people into the fold. And that's another person that you have to put focus on when you have people who basically are already fighting for a spot. It's just, I just named off, 15 people that weren't utilized. I mean, think about Sanity, how many people wanted to see them come up? Matt's still crying in a corner somewhere, we know.
That's so fucking...
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon!
Gooner's the nickname for Arsenal fans. Also, do you think they'll wait till WM to give Braun
Oh, you know what?
belt?
I knew that, but that's such like a Justin Bailey thing. Oh, you Gooners up there. Gooners and Arsenal fans. Give the Braun the belts. Wait till Mania. You think they're going to wait till Mania, or you think he's not going to get it at all?
I don't think he's going to get it at all. I think if anything, they'll probably shoot him to SmackDown if they're going to do anything.
That's exactly what I said.
He's going to get the WWE Championship. He's not going to touch the Universal title.
That's exactly what I said.
Mind-blowing.
He's going to have an epic match with like fucking AJ Styles probably.
That would be insane. I'm not going to lie. That would be very fun to watch.
Yeah, because if AJ had such a good match with Brock, that with Braun, because Braun's so much younger.
$5 coming from Vatican.
Thank you, man, for the donation.
Hey, I want to let you know that you're... What did he say? That I'm gay? He called me gay.
Oh, shit.
I'm coming.
This is war out of nowhere. This is war out of nowhere. Is anyone up for a game of basketball? Game blouses.
What's up, Scott McKinnon? Scott McKinnon is dropping the dough. $12. Scott, thank you for the $12, man. Yeah, you're a beast tonight, Scott. I almost fucking killed you earlier, but I love you, bro. Scott is such a beast, man. He's a beast. He's a beast tonight, too. I think he, I don't know, man. I'd love to go into a bar fight with Scott. Me and Scott McKinnon in a bar fight. Not with each other.
Hey, Joe, Jake, and Connor from fuck me raw till my bunhole bleeds kayfabe. Didn't watch Raw or Smackdown. Feel smarter for it, but I feel a couple of years NWA will be completion because WWE will not get better.
Let's hope that Lagana and all of them start putting on like a weekly, like real full show or something like that. Broken Lion, thank you, Broken Lion.
Give me a hell yeah!
Mr. Mathers, I don't feel so good.
What? Does that mean AidZ doesn't like the Eminem rap?
Dude, I love that Eminem rap.
Dude, my little fucking stupid diss rap on fucking the situation with Stacy ended up causing me to be apparently the leader of the whole thing, even though I have nothing to do with it. So, I don't fucking know, man. I was dropping a lot of fucking raps on the fucking Patreon. AidZ, thank you, AidZ. Although Cunny earlier delivered a fucking death blow.
I slap the fucking black off his face.
Tosh should have researched Tommy a lot more. Tosh is a fag.
Oh my god.
Comedy Central can suck my dick. Even Comedy Central is on the globalist agenda.
That's true.
Sensitive towards Tommy. Fuck that shit, man. Tommy is real and himself and funnier with you and Ken. Love you.
Oh, thank you, Scott McKinnon. Yeah, it's weird. You know, Scott, one of the things is Tommy's dad, like, intimidated the producers of the show. And he was like, if you like make fun of him, like you're not doing that and stuff. So Tommy's dad, I believe, originally intimidated them. So
yeah, I think that's more likely.
I want you to eat through the center of my diaper so one of my poopers falls out in your mouth.
Oh my God.
That sounds pretty crazy. Oh, wow. Have you ever done that?
I just want you to eat one of my nuggets.
I don't care about wrestling. So none of these donations are going to talk about wrestling.
Okay.
I'm just here to say, out of nowhere, this is war.
Thank you so much, Scott McKinnon, for the Pooper donation. He's going to go through all the donations in the description box below. He's going to just pick out all his favorite donations.
Just go one by one.
That was from the night when I was calling the sex line and I told her I wanted her to eat one of my nuggets or something like that.
Jesus.
You remember that? That was a good one.
Super chat.
Thank you, Scott McKinnon. Reality Shift.
I effed up. I was GNA donate as Machine Goon Kelly lol.
Oh, Machine Goon Kelly.
Machine Goon.
Yo, Machine Goon Kelly. Why you Machine Goon Kelly up in here? Yo, what's up? It's me. Yo, your beard is weird, but my life is queer. I would suck the cock of a dead reindeer. What the fuck is up, yo? Up in here, I go up in smoke. A cock in my throat, I choke. What the fuck is going on with your mom when she wants to suck my song, when she's on the lawn? Everybody knows I'm on the John, peeing and jizzing, always fucking crapping, always fucking shitting. What the fuck? I got colitis coming out my ass. Never fucked a girl so motherfucking so fast. Eat my shit, eat my dick, eat my fucking tip. All right, sorry. Thank you very much for the donation. Reality Shift, Scott McKinnon. And you fucking
crazy bastard.
Screwed up our whole fucking train of thought. And Ed's View as well. Ed's View, thank you, man, with the donations coming in.
Daniel Tosh was funny as hell, though.
He was funny.
Stand-up.
You know what it did too? It reminded me, like, well, see, that's the thing, Jake. Like, his stand-up is where we all first heard of him. He was savage.
I loved his early stand-up stuff was absolutely hilarious.
I saw him live in Boston, and there were some people there giving him shit and going on. One of the hecklers was like, how would you feel if your daughter,
oh my God,
had to hear you talk about rape and stuff? And he was like, she'd have to survive the abortion first, and like,
oh my God.
He said something about a stillborn baby on that episode. I don't remember what it was, but I fucking spit out my drink. He was like, There was one line I remember from his one of his earlier stand-ups that says, "There's no excuse for domestic violence." That just sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, it just sounds like a challenge.
Hey, Rich Swann is like the failure at I'm sorry. Rich Swann tried and he failed, man. He tried domestic violence. It didn't quite work out.
I liked the other guy that used to come out after Tosh.0 too. He had a show for a while. His name was Anthony
Suckadick.
I can't remember his damn name. I
don't know either.
Is it?
I don't remember who it is.
Nah, that's not it. That's the radio guy. I'll think of it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You know what's weird? I know we got to get back to wrestling, but I got to tell you, man. Have you seen my fucking? I got to remind everybody out there listening right now that if you want non-wrestling talk, make sure you subscribe to my other channel, youtube.com/corruptedpodcast. youtube.com/corruptedpodcast, which is weird because the podcast is on Patreon, but the YouTube channel is called youtube.com/corruptedpodcast, so that doesn't make any sense, but fuck it. It's confusing. But go subscribe to that other YouTube channel because a lot of the community is over there where we talk about non-wrestling stuff. And dude, I don't know what the fuck happened, but like my fucking Bill Burr H3 reaction video.
Yeah, what the fuck? I saw that blew the fuck up.
What the fuck, dude? It like exploded. It's got 250,000 views right now.
Damn.
And there's like a war in the chat. There's like some people loved it. Most people, like half the people hated me. And like a few people really loved it and subbed. And then a few other people just gave their opinions. But they're all fighting in the chat, and people are like making fun of me and stuff. They're like, dude, you sound just like, you sound like Bill Burr, you fucking fake. And I'm like, dude, I'm from like right up the road from where he lives. Like,
yeah, you live 10 minutes away.
Like, why are you trying to do his accent? And I'm like, what do you mean do his accent? I can see Boston from my house. Fucking idiot. Like, and so like I gotta I'm responding to like everybody like, you new YouTubers with only 9,000. I'm like, dude, I've been on YouTube since 2007. You know, I'm like but I'm like being neurotic about it. I'm like responding to everyone. Like, no, fuck you. You know, like, I can't help it. So there's a big war going on. It's a very interesting thing. And then after that,
I saw half of your replies, and I'm like, oh shit, he's getting into it.
And if you want to know what happened with all the stupid drama that went on that I didn't even want to talk about, I didn't want to fucking talk about any of this. But everyone kept fucking bringing it up, and then I got blamed for it for some reason. So me and Ken did a trash talk, and we talked a fuckload about shit, man. We nailed this shit. We talked about a whole bunch of different shit. And it is episode 5, technically, of Trash Talk. And it is up, and that's there for you guys later for free. Hour long, 16 minutes, fucking nasty.
It was really good. I listened to it right before this.
Nice.
Yeah, I was listening. I got through like 2/3 of it before getting on here.
Well, then you're only 2/3 of a fan.
Oh.
Wow.
I got to tell you one more thing that's
Failed
blowing
me.
up. Dude,
Failed me.
7 hours ago, I dropped a follow-up to the H3 video I did. It's already got 5,000 views, which normally on this channel it would do like 400. So,
yeah, crazy. People
what
wanna
the
see
fuck
more,
is going on, dude? So if you want that shit, it's over there. I tried to separate the wrestling channel from that channel. And when we get corrupted live ability back, we'll probably bring monetize this and all the shit back over there. Or maybe we'll leave monetize this here and bring just Throwdown and all that other shit. Anyway, let's get back to wrestling. What else you got, Jake?
Well, little continuation from before. I was watching Wrestling with Regret the other day when he does the old pay-per-view reviews.
Yeah.
And he was watching Insurrection from 2002.
Yeah.
And he made a really great point, and it's poignant with Rey Mysterio coming back. We saw X-Pac take on Bradshaw at that pay-per-view. And now you would never see anything like that, ever. Because they keep the cruiserweights with the cruiserweights. And I hate that mindset. Like, it's a good idea to have them have their own show in one sense. But that bottleneck is just, it's awful for the business altogether because, I mean, it's good to have a cruiserweight title that only, they can go for,
right?
Granted.
Yeah.
But then you limit the pool of competition by such a strong margin. I mean, think about some of the matches that we could be getting on a consistent basis. And these guys just can't branch outward. The highest that they can go is the Cruiserweight Champion, which isn't even on the pre-show anymore. We didn't even get a pre-show championship match at Hell in a Cell. Like, that is the pre-show title, and now we're not even seeing that. We were seeing X-Pac team with Kane to take on Big Show and Undertaker, and then it was a handicap match where he was kicking Undertaker and Big Show's ass at one point, and then Kane turned on him and all this shit. There was a lot of good matches where you saw smaller guys taking on big guys, and it's more than just X-Pac, obviously, but we don't get that nowadays, and I don't see why.
I think eventually the cruiserweight division is just gonna fizzle out again. Unfortunately, as much as I'm a fan of the cruiserweights, I think that I give them an A for effort, but I think just because of the deterioration of like the interest and just the lack of depth in the roster, I guarantee you that if not immediately, pretty shortly after NXT, if NXT goes to like Fox Sports 1, as we've been talking about before, I think we've talked about it even before that Triple H has like toyed with the idea of merging the 205 Live roster with NXT.
I was going to say, why not just put the belt on NXT?
You might as well. I heard they keep the championship there. You might as well, because like NXT UK, and like the Mae Young Classic, and even the cruiserweights, like you can just put them in this like giant melting pot of talent where they just go everywhere. If you put it over with NXT instead of its own like separate island, you can open up with so many great matches and so many fresh faces, not just going into the cruiserweight division, but going out of the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to have it all just be one way. Because now when you have people, like Finn Balor, imagine, one night he tries to go for the Cruiserweight Championship. But if he does that, then he's stuck there for good? No. You want to see things like that. I'm just giving examples. And one of the other things, I know this is not our idea. People have said this, and we've said this as well for eons now. But why not go for an actual, you got Survivor Series coming up? We said this last year at Survivor Series. I was listening to one of our older shows. They still have yet to capitalize on it. Have, the Undisputed Era lead a team that goes ahead and comes up and does their own invasion angle. So instead of have Raw invading SmackDown or SmackDown invading Raw, NXT invades the main roster, and there's your 5-on-5 for Survivor Series.
I love that idea. I would love to see that.
It's so simple.
They're not going to do it, though, because they always, like, despite NXT's popularity, despite the takeovers, despite the great matches, despite the great talent, the WWE and despite even Triple H saying it's a third brand, WWE in the grand scheme of things will always see NXT as developmental.
Yeah,
it's sad to say, and I mean, you can make a ton of arguments and say and say how much better it is or how it's equal, but no matter what you do or say, in WWE's mindset, in their world, NXT will always be seen as developmental.
It's unfortunate that they get looked at with that mindset, because most of them were, world champions elsewhere before coming to WWE. They were at the top of their businesses collectively before coming to a training camp.
Like you said, though, couldn't they produce a TV show that's a little more thorough than what NXT is doing on TV and move 205 Live to the network as the developmental?
That would be great.
Why not do that? Like NXT becomes the brand, the touring brand that's on TV, and 205 Live moves into the NXT slot as the developmental. Something like that. And maybe you could change the name. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do change the name. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking know what you call it, but make that make that the training show. I don't know. Why not? But then again, I guess that gets rid of the name 205 Live, because that defeats the purpose, because you might be bringing in people that are 300 pounds. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I get where you're coming from. It's just basically kind of like promoting NXT to a third brand slot, like they did with kind of like ECW back in the day, which we all know how well that went.
Broke, you don't fix it, though. I don't think they want to mess around.
ECW was never its own thing. That was the problem.
No,
it was just not even a shell of its former self. It was just a nightmare. It really was. It was just the leftovers of Raw and SmackDown. It wasn't
when it was on the website, as NXT was live on WWE.com. Remember that? That was funny.
Remember that? Yeah.
I gotta pee.
So bad.
It literally was like the trial run for NXT beforehand. It's like, hey, what if we just took a bunch of guys and just put a title on there? Let's see what happens.
And it wasn't like, oh, this is better than nothing, because it wasn't. It really wasn't. Those poor guys, and you think about CM Punk and Matt Hardy at that point in time when they were doing the TV runs. Ugh, they just dealt with so much bullshit. And then Vince with the ECW title, and just so much wrong with that. And now, Blake sends me stuff before too. Vince is ready to shell out solid money, it says here on Touchdown Wire, for exceptional players for the XFL. The XFL is willing to pay $200,000 per season for exceptional players. So if you look at the Alliance of American Football, which has a base of $250,000 over 3 years, and what a practice squad player makes in the NFL, that's $7,600 per week minimum, or $129,000 for a full 17 weeks. That's a huge upside of becoming a top player in the XFL. So you're looking at, $250,000 per season, not per 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah. So practice players in the NFL will have to weigh job security. There's little on the line. There is little on the practice squad, and with NFL opportunities. So if you're on the NFL practice, you hardly ever get to see field time. And NFL rookies, they're making $480,000. If they get actually to play, but if you're just relegated to, third string and on or practice squad, you're not seeing any green time. You're not making any money. So with this, if you can actually get on the field and play, you're making minimum $250,000 and up. So if you become, a starting person, you're all set. You have it made. It's just, but he's basically throwing around a lot of money to go ahead and make things work at this point in time. So money talks.
Sounds familiar. Throwing money at something.
Yeah, he's also, there's an article here saying that former WWE star, Snitsky teases a return for the XFL. So Gene Snitsky said he's interested in appearing in the upcoming XFL promotion when it debuts in 2020.
He has to keep the gimmick though of the creepy guy with the yellow teeth and smells feet.
Yeah. I mean, he's got this bald head and huge beard with massive muscles at this point in time, so it would certainly fit. He played college football for the University of Minnesota as well, and he also played for the CFL, Canadian Football League. And he was also the preseason roster for Birmingham Barracudas, so it would certainly, benefit him to try out, but that's crazy.
The new champion of WWE, Colin Kaepernick at WrestleMania. Who thought this was possible? Imagine that, dude.
Colin has a chance to win here. What's that? He takes a knee.
No. Imagine if Colin Kaepernick was a wrestler, and then he won the WWE Championship. Then he held it up at WrestleMania. Then at the very end, he just dropped to a knee and then held it over his knee, and then spanked it, and spanked the title. Just fucking slap, dude. Imagine the people like, oh my Christ, it's not Roman.
Joe, since I don't have any wrestling questions and I hate WWE, I'll just ask you homosexual.
Yeah. Okay.
Questions.
I like
Will
it.
you stick egg in your ass, then pull it out and feed it to Tommy while you have an orgasm?
Dude, I wouldn't do that, but what I would do is I would unload my candlestick onto something and then stick that in Tommy. I would do that. You know?
I think if the eggs were scrambled.
Whoa, what the? I don't even know what that means, but I'm disgusted.
Over easy. You gotta have the egg be running.
Oh my God, Hillary, no!
I shit 20 times a day, and I plug the toilet every single time.
Oh my God.
I have to take the plunger out every time. I don't know if the toilet hates my cake shit, or if I have bad plumbing. I am going to make a Tommy NC 2010 sticker for my toilet seat.
Jesus Christ. Scott McKinnon, thanks for the $11 donation. Some of these donations I haven't heard in a while. It's crazy. It's weird. See, this is why the wrestling fans got to start donating again, because all the monetize this and throwdown and non-wrestling, all people that are sick of wrestling are the ones dropping the money tonight. They're just having fun, like, hey, let's talk about anything else but wrestling. Butt sex. Scott, thank you, dude. Thank you,
That's why you got to get a poop knife, Scott.
Joe, Jake, which would you guys rather watch, ECW from 10 years ago or WWE Raw now?
Ooh.
I'd rather watch anything from anything than now.
Well, that wasn't one of the options now, was it?
What was it?
ECW 2008.
Yeah.
2008, or Raw now.
I feel like that's about as bad. But
yeah. See, the thing is, I hate reruns that I can't stand, so I'd rather be tortured now. At least it's horrible new, but it's something new each time. Like, even if it's recycled garbage,
but it's
still
quicker.
is new each week.
But it's quicker, though. You can get through, you'd be over with ECW quick. With Raw, it's
if this is hell, I'm sure it's on a loop.
Dude, I'm telling you, Tuesday night, I got a lot of heat on Tuesday night from some people. They were like, Joe can't do the show without Jake, and look at this, is terrible. But literally, there was nothing I felt like taught. Connor, I don't know how you did with your review. Maybe I'll watch your review and figure it out. But there
was nothing to cover.
I don't know what to talk about.
This current week?
Yeah, the SmackDown. I don't know what to say. It was all, they did the same thing as Raw. They're just continuing stuff because they got to get to these other shows.
Yeah, and I feel like you're going to get that a lot, unfortunately. Like, I'm not going to lie. The SmackDown, like, the 2 reviews I did this week were pretty short because it's just like, well, that was it.
I did 50
Am I really
minutes.
Go in depth about Bobby Roode and fucking Chad Gable being a tag team? No.
Well, that's what I said. A lot of people in the chat were like, this was a piss poor review, and Jake.
It's a piss poor Raw. What do you expect?
Well, Jake wasn't here, so you couldn't do it, and I really didn't.
Yeah, because you haven't done it without me for years.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I did. I've done it without Jake, but at the same time, I just didn't want to even do it. To be honest, you could tell I did 50 minutes, and it was like, dude, what am I gonna say? They've already done this. They just repeated it, and that's all there is to it. Okay.
I'm curious. Were these people that have seen the show before? Your show?
Yeah, really.
I don't. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they were like.
Well, because some people, like, if they've seen it for the first time, they may be like, "Oh, it's shit." But like, because Jake brings like the analysis, you bring the emotion, and it's like a nice mesh. Right.
But it's like I almost said that Monday night I'm doing the review myself just to prove him wrong, just to do I'll do a review by myself and show you. But I prefer to have Jake because then Jake can kind of like have everything. He has everything together. I don't got to look it up. That way I can run this show, decide what to do, stop the donations, and then react to what's going on. But if
this way you can take a shower, and if the kids do something, or you don't have to pull your hair out.
Yeah, it's way easier, and Jake's really good, no doubt. Like, it is way better if we have Jake. But it's like
you're too kind.
But this guy, it was just like, what happened on SmackDown? Like, I could actually see a lot of reviewers being like, nope, not doing this one. See you next week.
I'm not gonna lie, it was tempting to just be like, I'm good.
See, even Connor agreed. And how long? And mine was 50 minutes. I did 50 minutes, and they were like, "Oh, all you did was play video games." It's like, dude, no. Well, next time I won't play video games. I'll just be like, okay, there's the 50 minutes. I'll see you guys. You know, I mean,
Just walk away from the
what do you want me to do? You know, I gave you extra. It's like people don't look at stuff as extra. It's like, dude, I was gonna end the show, but instead I did video games.
More content,
Joe,
not
do
less.
drugs
Yeah,
while you
I
watch
don't understand
Raw.
how they
You
don't
will
see
love
that.
it.
Do drugs and yeah, Broken Lion. I agree. I probably will like it if I did drugs. Everybody would. You'd be like, ah, look, there's Alicia Fox. Whoa! You know, like you
Stone
just
Smackdown review.
Yeah, that. Oh my God! Imagine if I was just hammered or stoned and like out of my mind or whatever, and you know, I'm just like live reacting, like, oh, it's Braun Strowman's on the screen now. Oh my God! He's
That might be fun.
Whoa!
Someone just got blocked from talking for saying "suck me off."
He's really big. Well, wait a minute. They got blocked or they got timed out?
Well, they just I had to clear the fucking comment so it would go up. It's like I shouldn't have to work this hard because someone said "suck it."
I don't know why.
WWE?
Well, I don't know why "suck it" would be blocked, but Nightbot is a bitch. I know that. I'm sorry.
So bad. I hate this shit. I can't even see half the comments. They're all behind this gray bullshit.
Nightbot's on the rag.
I'll try to look up Nightbot and see why "suck off" is not allowed.
It said "suck me off." Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
pretty sure it's a
Cuss
YouTube
words
thing.
in there.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it the YouTube one where you got to hit show?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Oh,
was,
that's
wait,
I can't do anything
I thought
about
that.
that.
Was Nightbot.
No, that's YouTube.
That's YouTube's built-in thing.
That's their
What the
stupid
fuck?
filter.
It's terrible. It gets worse every time I do this.
Yeah,
okay, they
like
said
right there.
DX, suck it. It won't work.
You know what? I think I can lower that. I think I can like tell it to stop
That'd
doing
be
that.
cool, because dude, it makes it hard. These people can't even speak.
Yeah, but
That's
the problem is
bullshit.
if you lower it too much, then it age gates your stream.
Well,
and then you
we
get
might have,
no,
dude. That's why I was
yeah.
here though, because like I'm good.
Then you
at
get no
figuring out-
advertisements.
I was good at kind of like block. I never block people because people have to say certain shit. Like that's why this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I
It's
never
doing
block.
every other.
Yeah,
video.
you got to
anybody.
say stuff
Even the
like
people that,
hang
you know-
the, you know, over and over again or something. If you do that, you're gonna get blocked.
like,
Yeah, then you're
you know,
getting
you get-
blocked.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
the people that sit there and call me a fat ass for an hour straight, I don't even block. It's the ones that come out with the real racist stuff. That's
Yeah,
you
like,
got
I
no
used to
room
let
for that.
people push it.
That's
They
so
put
weird.
a bunch of different like things out there that were almost what shouldn't be said, and then they would get away with it. But
Yeah,
you
Nightbot's
gotta
a
know where the
fag.
line is. Nightbot has no chill or whatever
Did
this
you
thing
just
is.
say Nightbot's a fag?
Yeah, Nightbot's a fag.
Nightbot
the
has
fuck?
no chill.
Oh my God, that's funny. Shit. Well, what else we got?
Someone said duck it.
Dug it.
I mean, I'm curious now. Post, do you think that Samoa Joe is going to walk away with a title?
Yep.
Do
Really?
you both believe that Samoa Joe is going to get it? I know, Connor, you said yep pretty quickly.
Pretty.
there,
Yeah,
you know.
you're emphatic. I'm a little not sure about it, but you are dead set.
You seem sold. Why are you so sold?
I like it.
I can very easily see them pulling some sort of big PR move to like please the Australians by having a big title change, and damn sure it's not going to be the Universal Championship because Roman's in a 6-man tag.
Oh my God, dude.
I could very easily see them doing that. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that would be
because
the last time between the two of them. I think they're going to probably. Jesus, they have how many fucking pay-per-views in the next?
Well, there's
60
3
days?
titles taken up in that one match. They don't have the Raw Tag Team titles. They don't have the IC title, and they don't have the Universal title being defended.
Right.
Because of the Shield taking on Braun and his Misfits. I don't know what the hell you
Well, it
wanna
also
call
seems
but-
though, Jake, doesn't it seem like they don't want any titles to change hands over there because it's not really a
That's-
build? But that's why they have the new belt. That way, that's gonna go somewhere. Like it seems that didn't they do that last time? That other belt went somewhere, but nothing else did.
But the part that also makes me think so is because the stipulation with Joe and AJ is really fucking vague. Like, you would think that if they're going to do like a no DQ, no countout, they would put like last man standing or no holds barred, but it's literally just no DQ, no countout. Like, it's not anything like over the top.
The Prince is gonna show up and attack AJ.
The Prince is going to fly to Australia.
Imagine that. Oh, in Australia. Yeah, he shows up with a chair and
It's
hits him
even
with a
funnier.
chair. Oh my God! After what happened at Crown Jewel, it's like what? In the, what's his name? What's the prince's name?
I don't know, but it's like it's the Royal Army.
I don't know, but whatever I just did is I'm on a list now over there. Whatever I just said.
Breaking news: Saudi Arabia invades Australia.
He's 32. He's younger than me.
Oh shit!
What is it?
That'd be fucking hilarious.
What's his name? What the fuck? Oh, Mohammed bin Salam Al Saad. Oh my God! My God! My God! Wait a minute! Some individual, a fan or something, with a, his face is covered by this mask. Oh wait, he took it off! Oh my God! He just attacked AJ Styles! Oh, he took the mask off! Wait a minute! Byron, it's Mohammed bin Salam Al Saad! My God, Al Saad has attacked AJ Styles!
He's speaking some sort of weird language, but I believe he's demanding for Macho Man Randy Savage, Yokozuna, and the Ultimate Warrior to join him immediately.
How dare you disrespect Saudi Arabia when everyone else was eating? AJ Styles let one piece of tuna fish hit the sacred carpet of Shalom. Now you will pay the price, AJ Styles. Hiya! Whatever the fuck, Wandy.
Belly, you cunt! Belly, you cunt!
Oh my God, AJ, you cunt! My God, he wrote something on the back of AJ Styles in that whatever that writing. It's some kind of, I believe it means death to the infantile. Oh my God, and he steps on AJ's head. God. That's theater, man. Imagine
that's
entertainment right there.
Be like, yo, we want the Saudi Arabian prince to be involved and hit this guy with a chair. Wouldn't it be funny if they did that? That'd be great.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, we want them to invade Australia.
And then when he's in the middle of the ring, in the middle of the ring in Australia, he can get tons of heat too. He can grab the mic and be like, "Your women are filthy," you know. Look at them. I come from a country of respect. Your women are whores and barn animals. Oh my God! What, you undercloth?
Oh my God, that would really set everybody off.
You undercloth cunts. Oh my God, dude! This is.
And that's when they'd have one of the females come out to the ring and flash her ankle. You know? Take this, you pigs!
And it's got just like a big fucking, like one of those silver jewelry things around it.
Joe, I'm back. The reason why I haven't been able to donate lately is because Jake tied me up.
Oh man!
In my cage because I didn't make him come enough, and for the first time the other day, Jake slapped me because I talked back. Now I know who is boss.
Damn straight.
Frog off.
Joe's male sex slave, thank you. And I really apologize. Awandi, you're in Abu Dhabi. It's close enough. We gotta fucking stereotype you, bro. We gotta stereotype you, Awandi. Come on. If we were making fun of fucking Canada, you know, and you had only me, you would go after me, right? I mean, come on. I'm close enough. If you're making fun of Scotland, you'd make fun of me. I'm close enough. So, fucking sorry, Awandi. Awandi, hey-ya! I fucking love.
Yeah, dude, your sex slave Joe talked back, so I had to put him in his place.
Well, you know, he always acts up. He's a fucker. 301's live on the phone.
Slave?
Yeah, we all do. Well, apparently,
Joe. I was your sex slave, Joe.
This guy's like, what did I come onto the show for? 301. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, Jake. I hope you're feeling better, man.
Hanging in there, bud. How you doing?
All right. A couple things. Are you guys backing off on Elias yet, or are you still with him there?
I think WWE has.
The crowd is so behind him that it's nauseating.
That's where it all goes downhill.
He's on cruise control because, dude, he's on the same show with Roman. What?
Is he a tweener? I mean, they chant with him, then he distances the crowd, like, you know, the Walk to Elias thing. Is he still a tweener, or?
I think the WWE doesn't want his shit to override what they're doing with Roman, which is the classic. They did it with, dude, we already know. They did it with Wade Barrett. They did it with Zach. They did it with this guy, that guy, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so they hold him back enough that he's in cruise control mode, and that sucks.
Yeah, he's still relevant, but he's not making waves or headlines. He's not doing anything that's, you know, necessarily important. Are you guys still on
board with him, or are you, like, tired of his shtick? Was like, all right, he's going to get interrupted again. His matches are not really memorable at all that he's had since he's been called up. So
he had one with Seth, and that proves that he can have a match with somebody, and they don't.
Yeah,
they don't
he's had a few decent matches, and you certainly can see that he can go. Like, I know he can deliver, and I think that's kind of just it. I don't know about Joe and Connor, but for myself, really, I know he has so much potential that I'm just hoping that they get the chance to unleash that beast, baby. I want to see him go ahead and take off. But
he's kind of that gimmick where, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like every couple of years they have like a go-to gimmick or go-to person where they use for like, if someone's returning or making a special appearance, they're like kind of like the butt of the joke. Rusev was it for a little while, like when Rock came back and like was making fun of like sleeping with Lana and all that shit. He's kind of in that role right now.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's been that way for a while.
He's in cruise control. I just call it like it's like maintenance mode in Diablo 3,
pretty much.
And hopefully he comes out of that, because a lot of times it's good news that he's not Ty Dillingered, but it's bad news that it's like, he basically gets less to do than he had. He's getting less and less to do, and it's like, man, he should be having moments, and he's not, and that's their fault. This is a 3-hour fucking show.
And I don't mind him getting interrupted like that. Basically what you're asking. No, the shtick hasn't gotten tiresome yet, because I still have hope that he'll be able to outshine the bullshit. I know that he's gotten better on guitar. You know, his guitar riffs and licks have gotten only more impressive. He's soloing more, and his guitar riffs are more intricate now. As where he used to come out and just play a few notes, now he's playing full on solos. He would, I'll
tell you what I want to do with him. Can I tell you what I would do with him? I'd start doing little vignettes with Elias at the beginning of the show. Where he's standing outside, whatever city they're in, he's standing outside on the street corner, and I would have him like singing about how crappy the place is. And then like one time you could have like a homeless guy come up next to him or like start being louder than him a little bit further away. And the camera pans to him and people are throwing the homeless guy money. And Elias is trying to sing his song outside, and he finally comes over, and it'd be awesome if he blasted the guy in the head with the guitar and knocked out the homeless guy and fucking headed to the arena. And then Lee got inside. He's like, Pittsburgh, it's smelt outside. And he just fucking did stuff like that with his guitar.
There's so much you can still do with him.
Yeah, like he could do all kinds of shit, man. Like it would be crazy. Like somebody could break his guitar in the back by accident. Like you could just keep doing things with him, doing something with him. But it seems like they don't really do that. I mean, he could do so much that you could do with him. You could have him going to look for a new guitar. You could do all these skits with him. If you don't have a match for him that night.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. I've thought the same thing. Like, why aren't they doing... I forget what I thought of. It was similar to what you just said about going to buy a new guitar. Why don't they show him doing other shit besides just the same gimmick over and over?
It would be nice, but...
He can use that gimmick and do a multitude of things, being that... I mean, he's good at it, so...
If you're a fan of Elias, the special they did on the network with him is absolutely fucking hilarious.
That is so funny.
Because it's him in character. It's basically like 20 minutes of like that kind of stuff. It's fucking hilarious.
And then nobody sees it.
Doesn't it seem like... No, it's on the network. It's good. No, doesn't it seem like he's in character, but the other people don't know that?
Well, there was one where he's like, man, it's so, like he walks up to a reporter. He's like, man, I'm so interviewed to be like so honored and humbled to be part of like be interviewed for Rolling Stone. I mean, having me on the cover is going to be a huge deal, not just for me, but also for Rolling Stone. Like, I'm from like this website called so and so. He goes, well, I'm still just gonna like talk to you like I am going to be on Rolling Stone. Like it's so fucking awkward and fun. It's really great. Like it is like old school cheap heat, and it's fucking hilarious. He does it like the entire special.
Yeah, but it just works so well. But this sums it up great. St. Louis fan 69 in the chat said it's either you are overshadowed by Roman or barely shown since SmackDown is 2 hours. How true is that? You either on Raw get shoved down because you can't get too popular because you can't outshine what Roman's doing, or you barely have enough time to do anything because SmackDown's so short that they have to rush everybody's angle.
Well, maybe with the whole switcheroo to Fox next year, that could change things up depending on where Roman's at. Because if everything stays where it's at, it's a win-win. If you stay on Raw, you're on the flagship show. But if you're on SmackDown, you're on like this. They're going to be obviously putting a lot of fucking attention to it. So
I think they're going to put a lot of emphasis on SmackDown. And speaking of which, Y Society brought up the fact that WWE had tweeted out, 118 days and counting, referring to Punk's record that AJ Styles is close to beating.
Oh boy!
With the WWE Championship, and he said that AJ won't lose at the upcoming Super Showdown because of that record possibly being beaten. I don't think AJ is going to get that record. Just because I know it's different belts. We've said this 100 times. I think it's bullshit when they said Brock beat CM Punk's record. We know it's different belts. It's different lineages altogether. It shouldn't count. But to them, they've already said it multiple times that, you know, CM Punk, his record has been beaten and abolished. It no longer stands.
I was trying to remember why it's different and why it doesn't count. And then I'm like, I can't even fucking remember because they're all mixed matched and meshed now. It's like,
yeah, basically it's because, you know, that's the Universal title that Brock had, and the WWE Championship is what AJ Styles holds. So AJ's record would actually matter. That's the same belt that CM Punk had held.
Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, they fused the belts and then split them as they unified them and split them so many times that it's hard to keep track of. But
WWE has fucking 14 titles right now. How the fuck can we keep track of so much shit?
That's terrible. They're not even like pristine to have anymore.
Yeah, and that's the problem with it. I'm not so sure that AJ is going to retain for that long. He might. He very well might.
I think he's gonna lose it at Super Showdown, and they're gonna do maybe some like hot potatoing because Jesus Christ, there's 5 pay-per-views.
Yeah, I mean it certainly could happen, but I mean you never know at this point in time. So they want somebody else. I mean if fans keep it up saying, oh, that doesn't matter and CM Punk's record still stands, then they'll do it. You know, they will do it just to bury him. But
until they need him again.
Yeah, exactly. I could see it going both ways, honestly. It's just I'm split. I'm just not sold that AJ is going to win.
They'll say that whole 434 day or whatever it was. They'll spit that shit out every 5 minutes whenever they need him again.
Yeah, if he comes back, it'll be the longest reigning WWE champion in the modern era. Yeah, exactly.
Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? All the way from Egypt. What's up?
What's up, man? How are you guys?
Am I on a list over there for what I did earlier?
Yeah, I think we all are at this point.
I would
just a little bit.
Money to see this shit, man.
Imagine that, dude. If the Prince came out there, hey, what's the vibe in Egypt?
Be funny as hell.
What are the feelings in Egypt against Saudi Arabia? Like I don't know the politics of it. Is it like
Saudi Arabia is like more crazy than us? I think.
Yep.
I mean, I hate it over there.
Right.
I've never been there.
Like you guys feel like you guys feel like you're kind of like civilized and stuff, and you feel like they're not there. Is that what the vibe is?
I mean, the only thing I know that they don't allow women to drive.
They do now, though. They do now.
They do now, but
it's weird. But they
need special licenses. And I wanted to bring it up before. Blue Easy had said, you know, look at what Daivari did at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and he was getting death threats for it. So
right, that was crazy. And listen, I don't want we're not trying to pick on culture because every culture is developing differently based on where they started or where they're at. So it's like they'll do whatever they do. We don't want to be like the Americans that tell you have to do something. But I mean, to us, it seems just fucking crazy. They probably think we're crazy, but
even to us here in Egypt, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I just hate I just hate it over there, They're crazy and stuff. And
well, there's the answer.
Yeah, people get a lot of wrong things on us because of Saudi Arabia. Like I get
you get lumped in with
you're Arab,
yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Dude, that blows because I know a lot of people from all over the place over there, and yeah, unfortunately, you just get lumped in. Everybody over there gets a Wandi gets people see a Wandi, they're like, oh, terrorist, that's it's unfortunate that that's what happens because it's true, it does happen. It's just
the fortunate thing is I don't look like an Arab. I mean, like the typical.
That's so awful. At least I don't look like. That's so fucked up.
You're sneaky, huh?
Yeah.
Well, then you are. No, it's so fucked up. Yeah, because you're in Egypt, so it's like no, just like a Wandi's in Abu Dhabi, and Abu Dhabi's like, I could go to Abu Dhabi, but if I go to fucking, some of these other places, they might fucking kidnap me and cut my head off.
I mean, in Egypt, you could go to a lot of places too, but mostly for visiting stuff. But Abu Dhabi is way more better than Egypt.
Oh, see, yeah, I mean, it looks great there, so I'd like to go. But yeah, everybody just sees it that way. Unfortunately, it's probably it's probably how the fucking Indians felt about white people forever. Some guy comes from Ireland, comes into the country, and they're just like, it's one of them. He's gonna fucking kill it, and they're just like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. You know, like I'm from Ireland. I didn't do, you know, like I don't know. But to them, like all they see is, oh, there's the murdering people who took our shit. You know, yeah, it's like, no, man, I like potatoes. What are you talking about? Fucking
Jesus, there's a lot of sand I could use.
Do you know how many times they raped our country? My grandfather was a slave. The fuck?
There's no sheep to fuck.
You ever had a fucking potato famine? You know, I didn't do this shit. You know, that's probably the same thing. You know, I mean, you see white people.
My mother used to fuck everybody just to get us some spuds.
Yeah.
Joe, I'm not used to this.
God,
there's no kilts around.
Well, no, we're talking about Ireland, not Scotland. I mean, you know, you're going to be okay.
If you had the chance to visit Egypt, would you do that?
Dude, the pyramids and stuff.
Let's go, Joe. Let's go to the pyramids. Let's do it.
If I can go with you, I'd probably go. As long as I got one local with me to guide me, I'd go. You know what I mean? Like, don't
guide you to like the fucking your death or what? No,
come over here. We're going to Cairo, and this is I want you to go to this actual latitude and longitude right here. No, I would say if I had a local person guiding me or whatever,
hell yeah,
I'd be okay there, right? Like I could go, or no.
Yeah, not that crazy, you know.
Dude, my friend of mine, she just went and like lived over there for 3 months. She met a boyfriend over there, and I was like, I never seen somebody so happy. So like, I think they're pretty cool over there, depending on where you go. You know, who you're with.
Yeah, it's just like it's like similar to America, I believe. In Egypt, it's like there's some badder parts. There's a lot of good parts. It's
just like anywhere, right?
It's like everywhere.
You know, you gotta know where you're going. If you fucking come to America and your first place is like some hood somewhere, you're not gonna think very highly of it.
Yeah, you're gonna be. I mean, he lives in New York, though. He knows he's in fucking.
Yeah, right. So
yeah, he's goes back and forth. But yeah, it's weird. But yeah, no, I'd go out there. I'd definitely go to Egypt. That's really fucking cool. We love that shit here. Like we love the history and all that stuff.
Yeah, man, we're
like that's so fucking cool. Like
I'd go just to feel the energy over there. I'd be tripped up.
I'd probably go when my kids are a little bit older. That way, if something went wrong or a plane went down, like it's like whatever. You know, they're 20.
It's a 13-hour flight, man. It sucks.
Well, it ain't like Australia, dude. When I was at WrestleCon and all those Australians were coming up to me, they were like, "Joe, we listen to you. We're from Melbourne and we're from wherever the fuck, Sydney, and all over there naming places." And I'm like, "Dude, how long was the plane flight?" And they're like 17 hours. And I'm like, "You're nuts!" Yeah. Like, damn. I can't imagine, dude. A plane is in the air for 17 hours. I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, they have like 20 something hour flights at times. So it was like 22 hours.
On a 20-hour flight. My friend used to come on.
Oh my god, dude! What, you get cramps in the seats? Like if you got to go to the bathroom?
Well, I would think they had like. You're already paying a lot, so I would hope that they have like decent accommodations for that.
Dude,
kind
they
of
better
flight.
have a fucking jungle gym for me if I'm gonna be on a plane for 20 hours. I need a fucking exercise room.
I mean, most of the flights, they were okay.
They can get up, no blood clots.
I'd take a fucking Seroquel and be out, homie. Fuck that.
Yeah, dude, I'd say that. Oh, I agree with you. If I could.
Then you wake up and have 12 hours more to go.
You'd fucking. I'd down wine or whatever they have, just get shitted, and then fucking you'd wake up and you'd be like, oh my god, thank God, what are we almost there? You've been asleep for 2 hours, dude. Fuck!
I mean, this happened to me. This happened to me this year when I was going back to Egypt. So it's like 13 hours, and I slept when I woke up. So yeah, it's like almost like 2 hours, right? No, I just slept for 30 minutes and had to wake up to eat. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky you're not part of the Muslim band, or you couldn't get back in.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's a long flight, man.
No, I'm not kidding. Because I think Egypt didn't get blocked, but didn't a bunch of shit get blocked when Trump did that?
Oh,
thing?
You mean in the U.S. that they banned some countries?
Yeah, because some kids were doing school stuff and then they couldn't get back in all of a sudden because it was just like widened or whatever. You know what I mean?
I remember.
I don't think Egypt was on the list, but
no, I think our president was Trump. Our good friends now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, that's true. Yes, you guys are right.
Our president just wants some money. That's it.
Just give me some money. Well, Trump has it.
Yeah, this is what he wants.
The Chinese, man, the tariffs are going up over there, though. Everybody's gonna have to pay more money for everything. Just shake hands so we can all pay less. Come on, what the fuck? But anyway, anything else wrestling-wise you want to talk about? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I just hate the fact that they're going to ruin HBK's return for a fucking tag team in Saudi Arabia where it's gonna be no reaction and like there's no storyline for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I hated the greatest Royal Rumble ever. I hated that. And like I said,
You didn't like the fireworks show?
Triple H and Cena. Wasn't it Triple H and Cena? I thought that was kind of neat because it was the first match and the crowd was into it because they were like, we know these guys. But after that, the crowd was kind of like, who?
I mean, if you remember that show, the front seats, they were like walking every time.
Yeah.
Little kids, and I remember Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt had no reaction whatsoever. I mean,
it was like
almost.
It was like a family
only
party.
Titus O'Neil fall. That was fun.
You're right. That's right. Titus almost died.
Yeah, Titus World Slide.
All the families. It was like a family event. You know, like the family pays for the entertainment to come, so all the kids and everybody are getting up and moving around and stuff like that. Meanwhile, there's the more hardcore fans are like way up in the stands and stuff, and they're like, "Oh my god," you know. And the rich family was around.
And Joe, one last question.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman, isn't he supposed to be a heel guy, right?
He's supposed to be a heel guy. You gonna bring up the mixed match stuff?
Yeah. So he's a face when it comes to the mixed challenge, and I remember the segment he did like "You suck" and "You suck." I felt he was like kind of turning face again. I don't know. I just don't want him to be the Big Show.
Well, then he said the crowd sucks, so that was the thing that, like you're like, cool, yeah, and then he's like, and you people suck the most, or whatever. It was like, oh, God, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, Ahmed, thanks, man, for the call, and have a safe
Take care,
trip
guys.
when you come back.
Peace out.
Okay, guys.
All right, later, man.
Take care.
You're all good, man. We love everybody here. Give a fuck.
Damn straight. SmackDown's numbers were actually up slightly. They went from a 2.229 last week to a 2.281. So not a huge difference, but you know, a slight difference from a 2.22 to a 2.28. So I mean, a bit of a difference there.
Wait a minute. What was the SmackDown ratings?
It was a 2.28.
What was it last week? It was like a 2.1 or
2.22.
Not much difference, I guess. But
not a huge difference, but
yeah, it wasn't going to do very well because of when Raw does bad, SmackDown always suffers with the casuals. So every time, if Raw does bad and the casuals are like bummed out, like they will just tune out. And then the hardcores might too. They'll just be like, fuck wrestling until NXT or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Phone lines are
you
loaded.
Figure last year it was a 2.5, and that was considered to be a low period as well. So, and SmackDown wasn't going head to head with anything.
Right.
You know, Raw had Monday Night Football, the Emmy Awards. SmackDown has no excuse. So.
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon!
Bean just came back and he already starting to be kinda boring.
Oh, yeah, dude, he's completely muted. He's just a fucking mute brute. He looks like a generic wrestler. Elliot, thanks for the $5, man. He looks like a generic wrestler. He's kind of mute. You know, he's got this, like, sort of hybrid intensity. He's got a new moveset that was kind of cool that he's been using, but other than that, like, garbage. This is nothing. We played the Jon Moxley promos, the stuff he's capable of, Elliot, and this has been nothing short of boring as shit, man. So I appreciate that, and you're right, and it's too bad. Somebody needs to do something different, and it's got to happen soon. I got to take a few more donations, but before we do that, let me jump to Scott so he can say what he's going to say, and then we'll go back to a couple of these. What's up, Scott?
Joe Cronin.
The receptacle.
The MK Ultra Warrior is here, brother.
Oh, my
and
God.
I got something to tell you from the depths of hell.
Yeah.
Stacy.
Oh.
It's a pedophile.
Oh, my God. No, my God, no. Oh, no.
This fine diabetic is gonna get the warrior awoken. Oh, yeah. I can feel the warriors in my veins.
Jesus Christ, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Oh my God, dude.
I am the Warriors. I am the receptacle of life.
He's taking Ken's.
So glad that guy died.
Took Ken's
what?
bit. Whoa, my God!
Whoa.
What the fuck?
I'm just. I mean, if.
Oh my God, dude! What the fuck?
Just drop that bomb.
What do you want? Another fucking? You trying to get?
If that's the kind of stuff we have to remember him by, fuck this. No.
Oh my God, dude! This is like the China heat you got that time.
No, because I don't really mean it like it was, or like that.
That didn't matter.
Well, like, yeah.
Jesus
Christ. The
Christ.
China thing you thought was like really a joke. You thought everybody was kidding, and then
that was really bad.
It was so funny.
No, I
when you
didn't
look
know
back
that,
on it now, because you thought everybody was joking. Yeah.
Nobody knew if it was real or not, and then they found out it's real after I'm already halfway through my set. I'm like, ah, shit. Well, I better just. I'm just gonna keep going. Fuck.
Somehow you over
I'm going all in.
You know, Scott was having his moment.
I'm all in on this shit.
Scott had his moment. We were thinking about it and like dwelling over what he just did, and then you just took the whole spotlight away. You're just like, yeah, fuck that. Fuck what he just said.
Well, that's what I do. I came in with the fucking. I had like a double barrel on the fucking with a scope.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit,
fucking
dude.
WWE had their Total Divas commercial for the next season the other day, and they're like, the Total Divas are going all in for entertainment, all in for whatever they had said. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
That was
and
the
they kept saying all in. You know,
they used that tagline months ago, and they were mocking the all in guys were mocking it. They were like, what the fuck?
Well, now it's in all of their commercials and like programming.
That's fucking
Before
crazy.
it was just on like their banner ads. Now it's everywhere, and I'm like, well, that's what they think of, Cody now. So
that's wild.
About as good as the Divas.
Omar,
freaking ridiculous.
Awandi, yeah, you guys can go hook up over there, man. Egypt and fucking Abu Dhabi is all good. You guys can get to each other. We like everybody here. Fuck what everybody else says.
Straight.
Everybody's good, man. Until you do something bad, then we don't like you. Fuck that. You're all good, man. Here we got Muslims here. We love you. It's all good.
We love everybody,
except for the ones that cut people's privates off.
Except those crazy bastards. But everybody's got some crazy.
You know what though? They do that in
race and religions.
The atheists do that in Detroit.
Exactly. There's crazy, bastards in every race and religion. Big melting pot here, though. So
they all got their different thing that they do, though.
Yeah.
People
know.
Sure. Yeah. Everyone has to be unique, right?
That's right, baby. I'm going liberal. I'm going liberal this episode. What else we got?
Well, you made a great point before. I mean, what could you have said about SmackDown? What we knew months in advance about the booking for Daniel Bryan and The Miz,
right?
And how they were going to face each other for the #1 contendership. So this wasn't some big revelation or big news story. And then Daniel, coming out there was a bit of a flop. The Maurice injury angle was a joke.
Whoops.
And on top of it, The Miz saying, "Oh, I've got a big special guest," and having it be his wife. That was a huge cucked moment.
I saw that coming a mile away.
We knew it was going to happen, but still, what a way to shit on your fans live.
Yeah.
It was just it made for shitty programming. Rusev Day splitting up doesn't help either person at this point in time because they had already split up essentially once before. They already had the reunion. This does nothing for either participant.
Right.
Especially the way they did it. It did nothing but take away from a decent match with Nakamura. It really ruined all the steam and momentum they had in that match. And AJ and Almas, yeah, they'll deliver, but I mean, AJ's going to face Samoa Joe, and the rest of it was a throwaway. The women's match sucked, and there was nothing more to SmackDown. So that was it in a nutshell. I'd give it like probably a 4.
Oh, what you
sure you were chewing that gum like a fucking
dude. I'm mashing this. You know why? Because I have a tooth fucking decayed in the way back. The only thing that makes it feel better is chewing on this gum. So if I sound like a camel tonight, I apologize. But
no, I was just watching the video, dude, and you look like somebody who was playing baseball or something. Just fucking waiting for the pitch.
Dude, this hurts so bad right now. This is killing me. But
is it a nerve or what?
So,
yeah, I got
those are so painful. I've had a tooth broken in the back, and you try and pack it and fill it, but
yep, not dropping $1,000 to get it fixed. And nope. So
I'm in the same boat because my insurance is beyond screwed to begin with, and
I might get it pulled, maybe, but you know,
I'd rather than
Get a
pull
set
it.
of pliers, you'll be good.
It's in the back and broken where mine is. I don't know if you have the same thing, but so I have to go to some specialist to have him pull it, and I'll have to drill it out.
This is kind of like off random, but Joe, you were talking about the NWA a little earlier. So you're saying like, hope they have a weekly show. I think they're eventually going to build to that because they're doing a 70th anniversary show in October, and they're bringing in another title. So I think they're starting to slowly build their roster. Yeah, they're bringing back the national championship.
I saw that.
Well, I know they have their own YouTube channel, obviously.
Yep.
And they had posted a video saying, you know, who gets the first shot at the NWA title. And they had a bit of an interview on there with Cody, and they were going forward with that. And there was word and speculation that they might do something live on YouTube and or Twitch at one point as well.
Yeah, I know it's on. I know the special is going to be on Fight, but I know that I know they've been talking about doing the thing on Twitch for a while. But yeah, one of the big
episodic
things.
Why do you think everybody's been going to Twitch for this stuff? Why not just do it on
free and
why not just do it on
widely
YouTube?
Available and
why not YouTube?
I think maybe because Twitch is kind of like the new hit fad in town. That's my guess. Because especially where Twitch has really kind of opened its doors, because I think a lot of people for years, even when people weren't doing just gaming, people associated Twitch with gaming, and now it's just opened up so many. You've talked about it before, Joe, how so many people are jumping from YouTube to Twitch.
Yeah, but why? It's weird to me.
I have your answer already for you.
I feel like
there's two answers.
There's a bigger audience here.
Yeah, there's two things. One is, yes, there's super chats on YouTube, and YouTube's also looking into adding super chats for offline videos, so for non-lives.
Oh shit!
And what it'll do is it'll
really
like VidMe did.
Yeah, for video on demand, it'll allow you to like pin comments and stuff like that. Keemstar was talking about it earlier, but they had mentioned it on their Twitter. But in any event,
anything to help us make more would be great.
That's the idea behind it.
But
the thing with Twitch is that they have multiple revenue streams there that you don't have on YouTube. One is the ability to have paid subscriptions. They have that somewhat here, but it's not guaranteed.
It hasn't
rolled
out.
Wonky.
It hasn't rolled out yet everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So,
you mean like the join thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on YouTube, you get immediate benefits. So when you subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, you're immediately able to chat, and you could set it to subscriber only mode, which can't be done on YouTube yet. So a lot of people subscribe to be part of the chat and have extra emotes. Mm-hmm. Also, the Prime subs are a big draw for these companies as well, because they get the money from their half of it without having to worry about Twitch getting their part. And they can still get what would be super chats in the form of bits. So there's three separate revenue streams for them to take advantage of.
If they're partnered, they get a higher revenue share. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
So that's really,
and they're immediately partnered because they get in contact with Twitch to set this all up. So they don't have to worry about streaming for 3 months with 500 active subscribers. And, they come in, their first stream, they're partnered, they're set up because their companies, they pay whatever, and they're just able to do it. So,
damn it, Leah almost just died. You okay? Leah fucking, Jesus Christ. She tripped on the carpet, and I was like, oh my God. She saved herself, but it was very close. Let's play a couple donations.
Super chat. Super chat.
Could Becky retain and set her sights on Ronda?
Ronda Rousey. Piccolo, thanks for the money. I don't know. I guess she could.
It might happen at Survivor Series where they go head-to-head instead.
Super chat. Party.
Yeah, that's true. I'd believe that more than anything.
The reason we don't talk about wrestling is because it's so boring. On an unrelated note, all of the JCS Army supporters, please vote Christian Rodriguez this Friday on Monetize This to
oh shit
become champion.
Christian Rodriguez is already putting his name in the hat to become Monetize This champion. This Friday night it's going to be nuts. We're going to have a negative points in the bank and a points in the bank contest, and also somebody will be crowned champion the following week after that. So 3 weeks from this Friday.
Hell yeah!
Be nice.
I think AJ will retain the belt at Super Showdown and hold it until Survivor Series in Drop it to Miz, then that will set up Daniel Bryan versus Miz at Mania for the belt.
Yeah, we thought about that. We thought like Daniel would win the Rumble and the Miz would be champion. But, you know, I wonder if they'll do that. Broken Lion, thanks for the donation. I almost wonder if this was a test and now they think...
I mean, it'd be huge money. Can't tell me it wouldn't be.
I think it would be pretty cool.
Super chat.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Dean will turn heel around Royal Rumble.
That's what I'm thinking.
C Nation, what's up, C Nation? Thanks for the dose.
He's just boring at this point in time,
So
sadly.
boring.
When he came back, he should have just been heel right off the bat.
Give him a heel turn.
The Shield gimmick. It's same with Seth. When Seth came back as a heel, he should have been faced right off the bat. You know, it's not always a heel turn that's needed. It's just a change.
Right.
You know, Seth came back and the audience was cheering for him when he came back from injury, and he was like, "Oh, I still hate the fans." Like, why? What was needed? You fucked that up so
The Seth
bad.
thing was fucking horrible because then they played a special of him coming back from injury. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Of course he's a babyface.
Yeah, everybody was cheering their hearts out for him, and then
come on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Now the same kind of thing didn't happen with Dean. You know, everybody wanted to see him as a heel. He comes back, he looks more badass than ever, and you're waiting for it. All right, he's going to turn on Seth, and oh look, he's helping Roman. I kind of don't, you know, I realize I contradict myself, but it's so hard to go back and forth with these things. You know, at times you feel like I don't know if they'd give AJ the record, as we were discussing before, for the, you know, but then again, our original plan was, you know, because if Samoa Joe beats AJ, as you had said, Connor, then we'll see Samoa Joe take on Daniel Bryan. I don't know if they do that heel versus heel thing. Usually they like to have, you know, they'll have two faces, but they often don't have two heels.
Brett back.
So I don't see Daniel Bryan winning the match against The Miz either for the #1 contendership. Not yet.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I had money riding on Bryan and Brie winning at Hell in a Cell, and I'm legit surprised they lost.
Yeah, I was confident they would lose. So I don't know, but
I just figured they would do the trade-off, and then the big blow-off would be Miz winning the title shot, because that way Miz would get it beforehand, blah, blah, blah. But, again, my big point is they have so many goddamn pay-per-views in the next month that really you could do so much with it. I would not be surprised if they legitimately did something where, like, AJ loses at Super Showdown, gets his rematch at the Saudi Arabia show, because that's really the next big men's pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and
gets it back.
Gets it back, sets up for maybe Survivor Series with Miz, and then does like a mini program.
Well,
with
Survivor Series, he would likely face whoever is the Universal Champion if they're continuing that Raw versus SmackDown.
Right, that's true. If they're doing the whole Raw versus SmackDown, that takes up a little bit more time. So that brings you to that brings you to TLC in December, and then boom, we're right into the Royal Rumble. So they could very easily do that.
Yeah,
because again, they're putting so much on the Crown Jewel. God, I fucking hate that name. The Crown Jewel pay-per-view.
Yeah, Y Society had said, you know, Miz wins the title from AJ at the Rumble. My thought was from here on out that, because I had said this back after the end of the WrestleMania this year, that I see the Miz being champion at Mania, Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble, and facing the Miz at Mania.
Yep.
And I've said this forever. Now fans will finally get their Royal Rumble moment, and Joe agreed. You know, that would be great. Daniel Bryan's been screwed out of the Rumble so many times.
Where is the Rumble this year?
I just looked it up, too, because I wanted to see if AJ would have the record. And it is, I'll pull it up right now. It is in Phoenix, Arizona, January 27th. In Chase Field.
That's different. Oh, that's a big place.
Yeah,
well,
it's really big.
They've been making a lot of strives to make the Rumble a bit. Holy shit! I just saw the photos of it. Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, it's massive.
Damn.
So
wow, that's gonna be awesome.
Now, Daniel Bryan has top betting odds to win the Royal Rumble, and he's favored highly to win at this point. I mean, obviously we have a long time to go, but the early favorites for the female side of things is Charlotte. And they're thinking, because everyone is predicting that we're going to get Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. And it's also said that
Fuck yeah, I got everyone's addresses, Mon! I got everyone's fucking addresses, Mon!
The Miz will defeat Daniel Bryan at Super Showdown and face AJ Styles at Smackdown 1000.
Forgot about that.
I believe AJ will drop the title to The Miz at SD 1000.
I forgot to turn that donation down because it's fucking loud as shit. John Wills, thanks for the donation, man. Yeah,
it could happen that way too. Yeah, I mean,
Jesus, too many fucking special events and shows.
Yeah, and that's what, like 3-4 episodes from now.
No, that's in October. Well, yeah, that is. Yeah, no shit. So yeah.
So
thank you, John, man, for keeping the donation train going, man. Thanks for the $5. Look at this field, dude. Like, where do the seats go?
They'll put them on the field. You know, they'll
a bunch of flat seats, or they have risers. I mean, like, what are you gonna do, like, with this field?
I'm picturing that it's gonna look like a lot like WrestleMania 19, because didn't they do that in baseball stadium?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just look for Safeco, right? Isn't that Safeco Field, WrestleMania?
Yeah, that was. I couldn't remember the name. Couldn't remember the name. Yeah, that's. So I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna look like that. Yeah, they made it look great. I was surprised.
Yeah. That was awesome, dude. That really was sick. I want to find those pictures because that WrestleMania, what was that, 20 or 19? Yeah, 20 was New York.
2003, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, yeah, it was the same year. Hey, Joe, I meant to ask real quick. You said on Monetize This, you're putting a negative points in the bank and a positive points in the bank?
Yeah, like so 1 week will be negative and the next week will be positive. So somebody will actually be able to cash in negative on somebody.
Oh, because I was going to say, if you have the wheel, one of the things on the wheel should be that the briefcases switch.
That's a good idea.
Oh, wow, that'd be wild. People would get mad, though.
That would be crazy.
You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful when it comes to like people donating money for something and then something weird taking it away. Like it's you keep people. Dude, look at that though.
That's it.
Like it doesn't it seem like there's so much unused space though.
Yeah, but they fucking sold it out.
They pack it up. They fill it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
They always and Connor, Smackdown 1000 is October 16th. WWE put graphics up on their Facebook that tease Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle, the return of The Undertaker, champion AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio, Charlotte Flair versus Michelle McCool, Sheamus and Cesaro versus APA, and Samoa Joe versus Batista.
Wow, what the fuck is going on?
We don't know if that's actually going to happen.
AJ versus Rey Mysterio? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
We don't know
crazy.
if that's actually going to happen, but they put this up on their Facebook. So they added these photos September 18th. Here, I'll put it in the Skype chat really quick.
Bar versus APA, that could be fun.
They posted it 2 days ago. Here, I'll put it in the Skype chat so you can actually see the photos.
Oh shit, it's one thing if they do it like fucking months in advance, but you said 2 days ago. Damn.
Yeah, they just put it 2 days ago. It says WWE teases epic dream matches ahead of SmackDown 1000. So if you go to their Facebook, it's pretty crazy. You see, Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle there, and then all the other photos. So I mean, there's quite a few.
Yeah, but they
haven't announced the matches, but they just put up the photos. But that's pretty much them teasing.
Whatever they're advertising.
This is October 16th, so
it's 4 weeks away. 3 weeks away.
That's still an early, poster deal.
It is, but still, shit.
Yeah.
That's 4
that's
weeks away.
huge though. And Batista being there, that's the biggest name of all to be surprised for me, because everybody else is already knowledge. You know that they're a part of the company. That's all public knowledge.
Hey Joe, those photos of 19, I didn't realize how much back empty space there was.
Yeah, there is. It's weird. There's a lot of empty space, but when the cameras are flat, it looks like it's completely packed in. I mean,
if they sold out AT&T Stadium, I think they'll be fine.
Holy shit! The bar versus the APA. I didn't even realize.
And wasn't there all the rumors about Batista?
That would be cool.
Batista was left off the 1000th episode of SmackDown.
I thought so too. That's what I was kind of surprised at.
They put these pictures up themselves on their own Facebook 2 days ago.
For SmackDown 1000, bring back the goddamn fist.
Hell the fucking yeah.
They got to have it too in the warehouse, right?
Yeah, they do still have it. I know that. They did something on their YouTube not too long ago showing off, in the warehouse, the supply house, all their old stuff, and that was one of them. So
that'd be sick.
That would be pretty neat.
Dude, they should sell that to sell that to the Saudi Arabian prince for $100 million.
He'd buy it.
Welcome to the new palace. Is that a giant fist?
He sits on it.
It'd be funny is if he was like, I don't remember that, but what I do want is Roddy Piper's pit set, and then they're like, shit, we don't have that anymore. So then they just remake it and give it to him and tell him.
Bring me his ashes.
Bro, oh my God, bring me his ashes.
That's why
we'll talk to the family.
Said, I'm curious to see if they book Hogan for the Saudi show. Saudi wanted him for the first time. We reported it. Now that he's reportedly quote unquote cleared for the Hall of Fame, they said that publicly. But there are still a number of people that I speak to in the company that roll their eyes at the thought of him returning. Trust me on that. He's been specifically named and requested for this Crown Jewel show.
Imagine Hogan's like, man, yep, I kicked ass and took down the Iron Sheik. Oops.
Oh my God.
He comes in for the save.
Yeah, he can be the one that shows up in Australia. Goddamn fucking bastard.
You fucking kangaroo motherfuckers.
Yeah. That's what he would say.
Boomerang bending assholes.
Boomerang bending
For some reason, Connor can do all these fucking overseas accents.
I don't know why.
Look at the New York stage, man. Didn't that look sick? That looks really nice.
Yeah, that was always a nice one. I liked it when The Undertaker came out for that one.
I hope they make it look at least halfway that good for this year's.
Yeah, is this what it's going to look like this year? I mean, how do you come... What do you do different?
Joe, imagine getting fisted by the Smackdown fist.
Yeah.
Why isn't that donation coming up?
Joe could take it.
Oh, there it is.
Sure.
Broken Lion, thank you, man. Yeah, I could take it. It's all day, man. Well, I know...
Jesse could give it.
I'd jizz twice is what would happen.
Yeah, once when it enters and once when it leaves.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly.
It's all about the placement of the thumb.
Joe, how do you feel about this? This is what I was starting to say before the donation came in. Rumor has it, obviously, Ronda Rousey will go one-on-one with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 35, and Stephanie had made mention that it would be the main event of WrestleMania.
Ronda Rousey main eventing?
A female main event WrestleMania.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they're probably going to do this sooner rather than later, because as soon as they're like, oh, maybe women will main event WrestleMania, like, give it 2 years. It's going to happen in the next 2 years.
Well, you know what? I mean, you can't get any worse than what Brock and Roman did last year. So this could be the year they go, fuck it, are they going to boo the women too? Hey, go out there.
I just can't believe that WWE themselves posted all these photos. I mean, right there's the bar, there's the AP, there's Samoa Joe and Batista. Like, it's not... a fan site, right? It's WWE. There's Kurt Angle, Daniel Bryan. There's Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles. Like, that's fucking crazy. I'm surprised we didn't see this pop up more everywhere else.
Ridiculous people make these lists anyway. I mean, look at what did they say? Fucking the #1 Hell in the Cell was Triple H or something or whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking.
Come on, man.
All that ridiculous list shit, but this is fucking insane. That WWE tweeted this out at 4 a.m. September 18th, and we haven't heard more shit about it yet.
The SmackDown 1000.
Yeah.
I mean, right there we see fucking big photo, Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan. I mean, that alone is going to be amazing if these are actual matches. But I'm excited if they have Batista. I really like Batista. I used to be a big fan of his, believe it or not. And to have him come back and face Samoa Joe, I think that would be fantastic.
I don't care for him, but he's like Brock Lesnar too to me. But it's But I like him though. I like him. Like, I like the actual guy Batista.
Right.
I think that's what it is. I enjoy him personally. That the wrestler persona I've been behind.
Yeah, I never I can't tell you a match or like. But that was around the time when I was annoyed by wrestling. That was when I was like, I just didn't like around that time. I didn't watch a whole hell of a lot at that time. So
I started watching more when he turned more into the face.
I can't remember a damn thing.
And he was like, I remember him taking on Randy Orton in a cage match briefly, and it was a very short match because he hurt his shoulder, and then he had to leave for surgery. We went to Raw at that time. We took Danielle, and he went ahead and he couldn't even really wrestle. So that was like little I remember.
I remember there was like a big story that he talked about, like I think it was either him or Jericho in a shoot interview, where this was like just when they were transitioning into PG, and it was him and Jericho in a cage match, and he got busted open and he bladed, and they like, you can't do that anymore. He's like, the fuck? And he like almost like quit right there, and I was like, this is bullshit. And he like fined him like a huge amount of money. He's like, no, and he like refused to pay it.
Wait a minute, wow. Did John Jones get suspended again?
Really?
No, Blake just sent me that John Jones suspended, but it's for 15 months. But isn't that his old suspension?
I thought they just made some type of like waiver thing for the USADA for Jon Jones.
Like he can come back on October 28th. I thought I read.
Yeah, that's what I had read earlier, that they did some type of like special waiving thing for him.
Okay, all right.
And I realized that these are all dream match scenarios. They might not happen. I'm just saying the fact, not that these are actually slated to happen, just the fact that WWE posted these pictures and acknowledged it at all is what's entertaining my, fandom.
I think what Blake is getting at is he's saying, well, if they did this for Jon Jones, then maybe they're trying to do this for Brock. Because remember, we said Brock isn't supposed to be able to fight until at least January.
It says USADA suspends Jon Jones, but the UFC star could return in late October.
But Brock can't fight until January.
Yeah, he's eligible to return October 28th, 15 months after failing the second drug test of his tumultuous career. So he failed and tested positive for metabolites of an anabolic steroid July 28th, 2017. He already served 14 months. So he's able to return to the sport October 28th.
Right, so that's what we thought, and so I don't understand what Blake sent me, but
he must complete 3 months community service and pay a previously ordered $205,000 fine to regain his fight license. He said his heart is filled with gratitude and appreciation, and that greatness is what I'm chasing, and the path to reclaiming my throne is now officially open. Comeback season begins now. UFC has a UFC 230 pay-per-view planned on November 3rd in Madison Square Garden, but President Dana White indicated to ESPN that Jones' return will likely take place in 2019.
I would think so too. I think everybody's coming back around that time. And wait a minute, when's Connor's fight? I think it's November, because I think originally we thought Brock was going to fight in November at the last event of the year, but now he's going to fight in the first event of the year, which would be good if it was following the last fight of the year that had Conor in it, because it would drum up interest and people would watch back-to-back-to-back pay-per-views most likely, and then you bring in Jon Jones after that. I don't know. It looks
like you're asking when McGregor's next fight is?
Yeah, he's fighting at 229. It's coming up soon, but I couldn't know how soon. Okay, October 6th.
Oh, like really?
2 weeks.
I thought it was November.
Yeah.
Okay, so but that's not the last event of the year, right? There's one more. Isn't there one in November?
No, there's a few more events.
Yeah. I thought there was more than that.
Man, I'm surprised.
Yeah, there's several more events throughout the year.
There's 3. There's October, November, and December. There might be 2 in December.
Sometimes they have 2 in a month. But I know that there's at least 3 more. So,
Jesus Christ! I thought they were going to have Conor be the last.
No, his is the one upcoming against Khabib. So.
That's right.
Nurmagomedov. I don't know how to say his last name.
That's going to be
say it properly.
That'll be a big night. We'll have to cover that, but as we always do. But problem is, sometimes these fights fall on NXT nights. It's not a takeover night, right?
No, Saturday, October 6th.
No, the next takeover isn't until right before Survivor Series, so you got some time there. Which I think they're bringing back War Games again, which is fucking nuts.
By the way, I hated when The Rock was in Survivor Series when he returned first. Remember that? That's kind of like what the Shawn Michaels vibe I'm getting with him tagging. It's like we kind of want The Rock was coming back, but he did the Survivor Series thing to win the belt or whatever. I don't know. He wasn't in the Survivor Series though, so I guess it's different.
No, he did the. I know what you're talking about. Like he did like he did what to win the title.
Yeah, didn't he win the title against Punk? But he was in Survivor Series 2, or like I don't remember. I can't remember.
No, he was that was at the Rumble itself. Then they had the rematch at the Chamber, and then they had Cena Rock 2 because twice in a lifetime.
Right.
Yeah, they have 4 more events. UFC 232 is December 29th.
Damn.
Yep.
And that's in Vegas.
And then they have 231 on the 8th.
Yeah. And that's December 8th, like you said. And then
230 on
November 3rd.
At the Garden. The Madison Square Garden.
Obviously 229's October 6th, so the rest are to be determined, right? Yeah.
TBD.
So.
Yep. I was reading something on Twitter, so I lost my mind there for a minute.
Smackdown 1000, I imagine, would be 3 hours. Because I know their big advertisement a while ago was that The Undertaker would be there. But now it doesn't feel special that The Undertaker is going to be there because they've had him twice on Raw. So,
right.
Yeah.
What granted, it's cool to see him live, but what else are they going to do?
I don't know, man. I think it's just about like getting the name out there to try to sell the tickets because they have such a problem selling tickets now. But it's like they don't understand. Like it's like putting the Band-Aid on. It's like, all right, you're having trouble selling tickets. But the reason why you're having trouble selling tickets is because your fucking content week to week is not good. So they think to solve that, we'll call up The Undertaker, we'll call up this guy, we'll call up that guy.
Yeah, what happens when these people just can't do it no more? Then what are you going to call?
We've said this.
They can come for an appearance or a
just
promo.
said this recently.
In 5 years.
What are you going to do when you run out of people?
In 5 years, they're screwed. In 5 years and in 10 years, like, what are they going to do? They're going to have nobody. You're not going to be able to bring back Roman Reigns like you bring back The Undertaker.
Yeah, these people they're building, they don't have the substance or the foundation
because
to
they're
be able
not
to bring
building.
back later. Yeah.
They're not building anything, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
the
awful.
Shield is like the one thing they had going for them, and like but they need to do like, all right, if they would have brought what's his face back, and then he was babyface, and then he fucking did a hard heel turn on Roman, that'd have been great.
Right.
And they bring the Shield back, and then he fucking beats the shit out of both of them. You know?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, they could have worked with some stuff they've built, but they don't do it because they're so fucking. They're going to have to fall on their face. It's kind of what you just said. I don't think it's going to take 5 or 10 years. I think it's going to take 5 or 10 months to get to, like, they're going to have to drastically change something. I mean, money-wise, they might do okay, but how much can you, the more empty the seats get, how much can you cover that up eventually?
Well, I did the math. I did this, dude, I'm a psycho. I did the math on this and projected it. At the rate right now, if it continues, in 3 years, they'll have 1.8 million people watching. In about 3 years, about 1.8.
Wow.
Assuming nothing changes or there's no spikes for some reason, probably about 1.8 because they were at 3.5s, then they traveled down to 3.1s, and then they're down to 3.1s, down to 2.6s, and then next year it will be 2.8s to 2.4s. And the year after that, it'll probably be down to 2.6s to 2.3s. It's literally anybody can go do the math and attempt to project. They basically lose 300,000 viewers a year, and it's sort of increasing a little bit. So 350, then the next year 450, then the next year 480, like that sort of thing. It's legit. It's numbers. It's happening. It's 10 years of numbers that prove it. It's unbelievable. And it's like you can say like, oh, well, TV's kind of dying and things like that. Well, the network subscriptions aren't going up. They're flatlined. And, oh, well, the YouTube views, but they got 10 million views on YouTube or whatever, 2 million views on YouTube. Yeah, but that doesn't add to the TV views. Most of those people... It's
just like saying like your foundation's cracking and you go, yeah, but look at these fucking eaves. The eaves look great on this house.
And then the biggest thing when I'm fighting with a WWE fan, and it's like, why are you defending this so much? It's just a fact. Why are you getting so angry? So like the casual fans, like they're fighting with me on Twitter, and they're like, well, they're making the most money they ever made, so obviously doing something right. Duh. It's like, okay, but
selling bullshit,
Yeah, but it's like, but still something is going on. Even my content, I use my channel as an example. I'm working on right now studying numbers to get my videos to get more views again, because a lot of my daily videos on wrestling news, because YouTube isn't showing them as much, are like way down. I was averaging 4,000 views. Now I'm averaging under 2,000 views, 1,900, 1,800. Part of that has to do when I upload, but my views are down. As far as overall views, my views are down. Patreon, up. Donations, they're where they are. T-shirt comes out. So I've got all these different revenue streams, but I myself have to work a little bit harder to make more wrestling videos during the daytime. And because interest is down in the wrestling community, and especially mine, some people are like, oh, I'd rather see Joe talk about fucking the news or something like that rather than fucking wrestling, because that's how bad it is. So I have to come up with new ways of getting new audience that are interested in WWE with keeping them interested, with whatever. But meanwhile, the revenue, we keep finding new revenue streams. There's new donation alerts and people keep coming in. So we're staying like we're doing really good there, but I know that something's going on. But I'm actively trying to change that or try to do something, so I'm working on that. But it feels like, and sometimes I don't work hard enough at that, but it also feels like WWE does the same thing. They just say, keep pumping out the same thing. Fuck it, we're making more money. Keep pumping out the same thing, we're making more money. It's very similar in that way. Like you think, I'll open up a new booth and, it's like if you start selling ice creams in fucking Massachusetts and New York and your sales drop 30%, So you open up a couple ice cream stands in Florida and Arizona, and now you're like, oh, we're making more money than we ever made before. Well, what happened to those other people that stopped buying your ice cream? And it'd be like if you just said, oh, fuck it, I don't know why, but we'll just open up more ice cream stands. And you know what? We'll open up some in Canada, and we can sell it for more up there. So now we're really killing it. It's unbelievable. Now we have an app, too, that helps you find our ice cream huts or whatever the fuck. And now you can download the app for $1. And then it's like you keep adding all these weird revenue streams, but all your sales are dropping and dropping and dropping. And then one day you find out that the reason why a lot of your sales are dropping is because 2 months ago you changed the fucking way you make the ice cream, and people don't like the taste as much anymore. It's like, would you go back to the way you used to make it? Or would you just be like, fuck it, keep serving it, and then watch the sales keep dropping? You know, but we'll open up more ice cream stands, so now we're making more money again, so everything's okay. You know, it'd be like if you're like, man, Tim's ice cream stands used to be good, now they suck. Oh yeah, dude, they're making more money than they ever made before. Okay, but the ice cream sucks. You're a hater. It's the same fucking example. Their business plan is unbelievably amazing. Their business plan is fucking phenomenal. Give the people in the company an award for their revenue stream generations. But give the team a fucking F as far as weekly show creativity, because it's piss poor.
They've got the talent, you know, they've got everything they need. They've got all the ingredients to make the best ice cream in the world. All the toppings, all the candy, all the flavors.
From a business standpoint, they're doing pretty good. So other than the television and the wrestling standpoint, they're not going to really care. So, like, I mean, it's almost like, what if you stopped covering them for a while and just went to the wrestling side? I feel like the wrestling side has to build up so strong that they have no choice but to get back into it in a way that where wrestling is integral again, an integral part of the process. Like, it's what I'm saying is, you keep watching and keep, you know, don't expect it to change too fast, because we kind of have to build it up from the ground up. Like, that's what the fans are for, the indie scene, and even NXT. It's sort of to build it up from the ground up again, because they're not doing it for the wrestling. Like, you can see business-wise, it's working out for them actually, but like they probably wouldn't care if their television series was hanging on by a thread if the rest of their company was, you know, hanging in there pretty strong.
Right.
Yeah. I miss the days that they had competition, you know, and that's the thing.
That's what they need. That's why build it up from the ground up. Eventually, something's going to stir enough to at least make them have to be a little more creative again and put some stock back into themselves, like into what started their ass, you know.
Yeah, Fox money won't help it either. You got Fox money, you got Saudi Arabia money, you got so much bullshit, so much money, and so much bullshit. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's really unbelievable. But you know what? You got to survive it so then you can create something new. Just like I said about my channel. Several times this has happened in the years with my channel where it drops down a little bit, you come back up, it drops down, but you just got to do something different and do something to keep moving, and you'll be okay. I mean, Patreon's on fire right now. Patreon is the biggest it's ever been now. So that's a great spot for me. So we do a lot of content on Patreon now. 355 patrons. That's the most patrons we've ever had. It's fucking crazy. So we do a lot of content over there. My other channel's taken off. Yeah. Corrupted's taken off. I got 1,000 subs today.
What started you in the very beginning, you've kept every bit of that, though, as you've transformed and gone, you know, and changed. They've lost themselves somewhere where they didn't start with reality TV and shit. They were fucking wrestling. They've lost all of that. You didn't lose Joe Cronin and all of this stuff you did. You just grew and kept your integrity. They've lost all integrity. It's fucked up.
I think that SmackDown was better than Raw. I thought both shows were fairly boring. This week's Raw was a mess and boring.
Was it worse than last week?
No, but it was. Was last week the boring episode, or was last week just stupid?
That was the one where you gave it like a 1 or something.
Yeah, last week was just really bad. This week was more boring.
Yeah.
It's sad that that's the differential between the two.
The week before was hilariously terrible. Like 3 weeks ago was hilariously terrible when like Kevin Owens came back and attacked whatever the fuck, and it was just ridiculous. I don't even remember. But it was so bad. It was funny.
Helping out right away. You know.
It was so bad. It was funny. Then the next week was like horrible and boring, and I almost fell asleep last night on Raw. I almost fell asleep. So I gave SmackDown the edge, but not much better. Connor, how'd you feel about the two shows?
No, I'm pretty much the same boat with you on that one. I thought Raw was just abysmal for the most part, but SmackDown, I think the Rusev Day thing got me a little interested, but really we all kind of saw the writing on the wall, and yeah, it wasn't much of an improvement compared to Raw, but 2 hours better than 3, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we've never seen WWE this bad, but it's also it's got good things that have never been there that are exciting, but there's these just awful weekly shows. You know, the paper.
That's why I've been reviewing old shit.
Yeah, I mean that's the fun. It's fun to go back and watch, and you get excited and like, oh, I remember this. So you're dealing with not only nostalgia and excitement about your memories, but also it's better. So there's like this double fucking endorphin drop or whatever you want to call it. Whatever the word is, dopamine. I don't know what the fuck happens. I'm not a scientist, but it's goddamn good. And that's it, man. I think we're done. I don't know. Is there any other news you wanted to talk about? I think we've come to the end here. We've talked for hours here. It's pretty cool. I do want to plug a few things before we go. But Jake, anything else you want to mention?
No, we covered quite a chunk of good news. You know, we got through a lot, and I just hope things pick up a little bit. You know, it's these extra shows, you know, the Saudi shows and the Australia shows, that they have a hard enough time getting into the pay-per-views. You know, Hell in a Cell starting off the other day, I was like, oh, here we go, this shit show. Usually the booking's bad, the shows are either really good or terrible. Started off really good. First 4 matches were, you know, excellent compared to the booking and the build-up, and then the rest of the show sucked, and it's like, all right, you know, not bad overall, but no interest going forward. And now immediately they just hit the brakes to build to this Australia show. And then not even after that, they've got, you know, the pay-per-view, then they've got now this Saudi show, and then they have no time to make anything worthwhile and continue. It's just they're throwing matches together, then explaining why they're having the match. Instead of the usual have an issue that leads to a match, they're having a match and then creating an issue after the fact. So
yeah,
hopefully somebody can straighten something out or give us, you know, something worthwhile. And it wouldn't be so bad if at least the majority of the matches were like really, you know, 4 out of 5 stars or even 5-star matches. Like you got really good, you know, wholesome wrestling, but we're not even getting that much lately either. So I don't know. I hope things change, but I'm not that optimistic.
Right. I'm not very optimistic now. This is really bad. I hope something changes. I don't know what it's going to take. What do you think, Connor? What do you think? It's the last thing to ask is what do you think? Thank you guys all for the donations tonight too. By the way, thanks for keeping the show hot tonight. We had a real quiet one last week, so you guys brought it tonight. Thank you for that, Connor. What would you change? What do you think it's going to take to change the state of WWE, which is a show I should bring back soon? But what do you think to change the state of the WWE right now? Oh shit, he went away to do something. Hey, Connor. Oh, I think he lost him momentarily. I think he had to go do something, which is funny because like I actually went to him on that one. But yeah, what do you think, Jake? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're the same as me with that. Like it's obvious. Yeah. It seems to be the obvious weekly show, but
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, do you think it's going to take like Vince like stepping down, or do you think it's ever going to change, or this is just the way they're like Stephanie will just step in and do the same thing, or I'm
not so sure because he has so many yes men at this point in time. You know,
Everyone's afraid.
We were asking you, Connor. What do you think? What needs to change in order to make this happen?
I think really the changeover to when Triple H eventually takes over. I don't think when Triple H takes over it's going to be an immediate change, but it's going to slowly but surely, because I feel like wrestling does have boom periods, and there's times when the product's good, there's times when the product is shit. Right now, the product is shit, obviously. But I think that, you know, you look at their roster, they have some of the I think they have one of the better rosters as far as Raw and SmackDown goes. If you were to like break it down, they have some amazing talent on both brands. They just don't know how to fucking use them the right way. So I think once Triple H eventually takes over and Vince kind of like laxes, and that's actually why I'm very interested to see what happens when the XFL kicks off. Because I really want to see how much attention Vince has put into WWE, or if maybe Triple H is going to get like a trial run with the main roster writing, and I think that'll be when we see some significant impact. It's not going to be immediate, but it's going to be slowly over time, I think.
I got to give a shout out too. I agree with you on pretty much all of that. So I figured we'd all agree the same. That's why I don't even ask the question, but I'm sure other people want to know. I gotta shut up Broken Lion, man. Broken Lion just increased his pledge on Patreon from $5 to $10. Thank you, Broken Lion. I love you, bro. And apparently Bobbit doesn't like me anymore.
Oh boy.
Because he unpatroned me, but patroned Billy Ricky and everybody else. Like, what the fuck, dude? He was the champion too. He wouldn't even know all these people if it wasn't for me. Fuck you, Bobbit. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for the help though, buddy, while you were here. God damn it. Isn't it funny when people make patrons who have like no fucking YouTube channel? It's the weirdest thing. There's like,
it'd be like me making a Patreon right now.
Well, I mean, you might even make sense, but there's people out there with like 400 subs, 800 subs, or 500 subs, and they're like, I got a Patreon, come on over. It's like, why? Like, you're not even fucking making shit
I've seen
yet.
people do it with 15 or 20 subs. And they're being like, that was the first thing they did. They made a Patreon before they even uploaded their first video to YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I was even hesitant about doing one, to be completely honest.
I know, yeah, and you're up there, you know. I honestly, and I was talking to the guy, and he's like, what do I do to get more patrons? I'm like, you've uploaded 2 videos. You have 13 subscribers now.
Remember Becky
Boop? Worry
Boop?
about building your channel.
Remember Becky Boop? Like, she made the video, like, help me survive and help me keep going. And then I was like, oh, she's making a Patreon. That's cool. And then I like looked at her videos and I was like, oh, she's made 1 video a month for the last 3 months.
And she skipped some months too.
And some of the videos were like 8 minutes long. And I was like, why are you begging people to come into your Patreon when you only make 1 video a month? And she started 3 months ago begging people for Patreon. So I was like, what are they getting on? And they weren't getting anything either. So I was like, what?
I can understand if you have like,
what the hell?
Some channels aren't offering much extra content on Patreon.
Yeah.
Because their channel itself has a very high production value.
Right.
You know, so they need help because they're not getting the ad revenue.
That makes sense.
You're not getting extra content, but you're still getting your regular content.
Even startups.
You just know.
And people doing services, that's different too. Like people who like, I paint a picture for this or I do that. There's different situations, but it's like some of the ones that just like, I'm throwing up a thing. And it's like, you're not providing content. Who's that big fucking tub of shit from Magic the Gathering? That fucking...
Yeah.
What's his name? The big huge guy. Not the skinny anorexic guy, but the other dude. Oh, Wedge or whatever. That guy. What the hell? He doesn't do anything. He gets like thousands of dollars. Like he doesn't.
Just collects money.
It just thanks for the money. Keep me alive. Like I guess. Like what the fuck?
Well, like it's funny. Like I don't know. I've had one for a while because I was on this show. But like, what if you do a lot of your content elsewhere?
Doesn't matter if you do your content elsewhere.
Yeah, as long as you're making content.
It's almost like, what if you don't get like other donations? You don't get other money other than Patreon. That's like your funnel, like that. You just have like you use that, but you do a lot of content.
If you're providing,
but there's other content.
If you're providing content, then yeah, you should have one. If you're providing content
is content.
It's
all people that literally do nothing. It'd be as if I wasn't on this show.
What's making people pay?
I have no idea. No one did for that other girl.
Just a sob story, or if I called in, it'd be as if I called into Joe's show maybe once a week and then said, go subscribe to my Patreon to help me with my family.
Yeah. But you didn't do any shows or anything.
But I didn't have any extra shows. My YouTube channel posted a video maybe once every 2 months.
Then you do a GoFundMe. You don't do a Patreon.
That's the point.
Yeah.
People do Patreon to just fuel their,
Hell, Patreon has an option. Patreon has an option where you can do it based off of like either per project or by month. I mean, obviously it's different for per person.
That one's weird, isn't it? The one where it's like, if I release 7 videos, you owe me $5 for each video. Isn't that the weirdest one though? That's so weird.
I think that's more for like artists or like if someone's like doing like albums or something. I think that's more for honestly like I think that's like graphic designers or something that does like they'll do something but they don't do it as frequently.
Yeah, but I've seen video creators who do that one, and I'm like, what if they?
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to sign up for this because what if they drop 20 videos? Do I owe them?
Yeah, that's ballsy, especially if it's like one of them's an update. Here, pay $5 to find the update.
And won't they auto charge your credit card at the end of the month?
I think so, Joe. I think we need to switch our strategies here on Patreon.
Yeah, we just fuck everybody out. That would be crazy. That's why I don't do it.
I'm confused at this point. So what who owes the who $5?
So what happens is instead of So say you go on my Patreon, you do $5 a month. You get everything that's in the $5 category. However, there's an option that every time I post or create a video, you will give $5. Yeah.
Damn.
So if I release 10 videos in that month, then 5 times 10.
Yeah.
And it comes out of the credit card, I believe. So it's like, whoa, like that's a dangerous thing.
That's a really messy playground.
I'm taking a look
I
at
would
it
just
right
stick
now.
to the other one, and then it's up to them if they like how much content you're putting out. They'll keep paying monthly.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Captain Disillusion. I like his content. He usually puts out a video, usually once a month. But his is like so much time in editing and After Effects, and he breaks down viral videos and shows how they're done, and breaks down their theories. Like he shows big viral videos. You see people like the box step video recently. And,
$50.
Oh my God! Speaking of donations,
you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker.
You got the gift of gab. I like that kid. Keep doing ya thing, mister.
Yeah.
Cronin, good to see ya, Jake. Jesse, glad to see you as well. Keep it pimpin' pimps.
Holy shit, a pimp named Butch?
A pimp named Butch. Holy shit, dude. Dropping a $50. Holy fucking... Whoa! Holy shit, dude. He just did the... That's what would happen if you'd been $1 every video on Patreon. Yeah. It would have been crazy.
Yeah, unless even at $1, like...
Wow.
That I could see, like... Dude, I don't know, that could work for some people.
Dude,
but...
the best is Mitch in the chat. Hey, by the way, a pimp named Butch. Thank you for the $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
That's fucking huge, bro. I'm fired up now. Holy shit, what a big drop, man. That was a big donation for out of nowhere. Hey, Mitch in the chat goes, ain't that what Joe does? Jake tells sad stories about your health, and Joe begs for a house because he can't work.
Hey,
I just keep people updated. No, really though.
I need a house, man.
But Joe makes a
I don't
shit
have
ton
my
of
own
content,
account.
and so does Jake. So.
Oh, this is a job. Trust me.
To hear Jake's health status update, please enter your credit card here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jake, you need to start one. We really need to work on this with you, man. You need to like faint during a show, one of these shows. Be like, like start doing this, and then fucking like reach over and then like grab what looks like a syringe and a meter, and be like, oh, my blood sugar level, and then just fucking smash.
Yeah, I suddenly developed diabetes during the show, and pay money to use the seizure cam.
Yeah,
he goes for the syringe, and just before he puts it in his arm, it just freezes his. To see how what happens to Jake, go over to patreon.com/countdownended.
No, even better, you disappear and then you don't come on the next show.
Joe, if YouTube never fails, you could always go on Pornhub and review the videos.
That'd be hilarious.
I might do that now. I might do that anyway. I've been thinking about that. Broken line, thank you. Like, oh my God, look at
Joe curates a playlist for.
We'll break it.
Number
do,
one, her tits are fake.
Public domain videos, Joe, where they go and review movies. So you queue up, so you watch a movie with your favorite podcaster and stuff.
Watch a porn.
Well, we could do that for porno. Yeah, people can download the audio file and then we'll watch it together. You'd be like, look at the cum shot. Yeah, look at that swallow, baby, swallow.
There's just way too many legal ramifications of that. I mean,
at the same time.
Well, I got a better idea. I commentate the porn. I commentate the porn, and then I message out everybody the link. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they do.
And
they don't show the video.
They just sync it up.
They just give you the audio.
Oh no, that's what I figured you guys meant anyway.
My God, she's eating her ass.
Then they get clicks. Yeah.
She's eating her ass.
You got to go to the porn site to watch it, and then you just click our audio with it.
It's a riff track.
Queue it up at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Like everyone has to buy the network to do the podcast. Like they don't show the video for you.
Exactly.
Oh my God, no, my God, dude.
All right, guys, we're about to take a look at Rim. We're gonna dive into big black asses. I mean, that's the name of the video, but still, we're gonna dive into big black asses.
I can't believe
the best part's like, all right, everyone, we're gonna queue up to 21:30.
You gotta do the JR voice. God is my witness. Her pussy is broken in half.
Now remember, that's when it's the second cornhole. So it's the second cornhole. Okay.
Then you can even do requests. Which ones do you like? What fucking category do you want this week?
This week, featuring Patreon request from Jesse.
The entire hand is inside the sphincter now.
She's faking it.
I think she's faking it. She's been playing possum this entire time.
Connor from OKFabe Connection.
No, this is Drew McIntyre. I got to say.
He wanted us to review the Squirt Olympics.
Drew, have you ever seen one? Have you ever seen one this big, Drew?
No, never. I don't think I've ever seen one, but that upholstery is fucking disgusting.
I wouldn't put my dick anywhere near that couch. Holy shit.
I think I've seen that house before.
On a murder
I know that
crime.
casting couch. Yeah, you can really get it.
Oh my God.
Oh man, we're out of here. Listen, thank you guys for all the donations. Thanks for the drops. A pimp named Butch, thanks for the 50. Broken Line for the last few, and everybody else. Bottom line is, we can make fun of it all day, but if you guys didn't donate, there'd be no shows. So here we are. No need to fucking. That's just the bottom line. So thank you for that.
You said Pornhub ratings are down, but at least they earn a lot of money.
Damn right.
Wait till they get super chat on the live porns. Imagine that. Oh my God. Like, why don't they have that?
Picturing donations.
Yeah, like shake your tits, or like $10 comes in.
Oh my God.
I believe I'm going to be recording a podcast with possibly Jesse, Mars, and Scott. I'm going to talk about that city that got evacuated, and are there aliens, and there's a whole bunch of shit.
Donated.
Oh my God, what
$50.
the fuck?
I'm going to take my dick out because you donated $50. You donated $50, motherfucker, boy. I'm a rich motherfucker. Shit.
Putting your whole hand up a hoe's asshole will cost you extra. Ask Connor.
God.
He remembers.
Sure do.
Oh, God. Man, a pimp named Butch dropped a $100 tonight.
Damn.
Holy shit, Butch. I'm going to have a sip of this drink that comes out of this cup.
Damn.
Look, my mom bought me a cup a little while back when she went on a vacation. She brought it back and gave it to me. It says my name on it, but it's like I got to... Now it's weird because it says Daniel and I'm Joe on the show, so it's like... People are like, who the fuck's Daniel?
Take some duct tape and put Joe over it.
I guess I could do that. Man, pimp named Butch, thank you.
Thanks for the $50, man. Holy crap. $50. Oh, shucks. What the fuck? Get fucked up. On nuts. Out of nowhere. Giving no care. Got nuts in your hair. Pussy whip bitch, don't need you there.
All right, tomorrow night is Thursday Night Throwdown, 10 p.m. right here on the Joe Cronin Show. Thursday Night Throwdown. Don't forget, I've got a couple videos going viral over on Corrupted YouTube channel, so jump over there and sub. If you haven't subbed over there yet, going to have a lot of content over there. YouTube.com/Corrupted Podcast. This is YouTube.com/Joe Cronin Show. See you tomorrow night for Throwdown. Friday night for Monetize This. More wrestling content in the day tomorrow. More shit on Patreon tonight. Make sure you become a patron. Tons of Morning Madness shit is up. More tomorrow. Also, check out Connor from OKFabe, Connor's channel, youtube.com/OKFaber. The OKFaber on YouTube. I think if you search OKFabe, it really just comes up, though. But also on Twitter, @OKFabe. Also, Friday nights, 8 p.m. on the Fight app. Connor is live with his new episode.
Super chat.
Joe review a porn as Jake.
That I pay for.
Broken Lion, thanks, man.
Oh my God. That's
and then
too
pass out at the end from waxing it.
There you go.
Yeah. Pass out.
Feels so good.
No oxygen in my veins. Nothing. Yo, stay in your lane. Bruce bitch. You a bitch. Bruce Blitz. Suck my dick. Dumb snitch. Evil witch. Yo, go to a different website and dyke your mom all night fucking night. Yeah. Bruce suck on my nuts. Eat my asshole. Eat the inside of my butt. I'm sorry. Alright, I don't know why I'm fucking picking on him. He's fucking gone. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Shout out to a pimp named Butch who dropped $100. Holy shit. I'll see you guys on Twitter. I'm obviously banned on Twitter. So my name on Twitter is @CorruptedPod. My only name on Twitter is @CorruptedPod. I don't have a Joe Cronin Show Twitter anymore. I'm banned @CorruptedPod. You know, hit up Jake on Twitter too, @CountdownEnded. Good night. Thanks to Jesse. Jesse, you got something you want to plug?
You just on Twitter for now. Jesse J JCS. There you go.
@JessieJJCS on Twitter. @JessieJJCS on Twitter. And I'm Casey Kasem. Now on with the... All right. Bye. Thank you, guys.